Before we talk specifically about East Drive, can you just give me a little bit of background on you two, like how you first met and how you got into the paranormal world?
Well, I think we've known each other for, I'd say, 24 years, possibly. We met at senior school. Griff tried to beat me up. I had to deal with him in other manners. I had to get the teachers and stuff involved, but our friendship pretty much blossomed from there. And yeah, I think we've just been best friends ever since. You know, now 34, we've been doing the Ouija Brothers for 5 years. Never thought we'd be doing ghost hunting, to be fair. Just kind of accidentally fell on it, thanks to this house, I suppose, with some of the incredible activity. I think we've always had a passion and a love. Like, we watched ghost hunting programs and stuff like that. Always had tales from like my mom and, you know, my auntie, my granddad and stuff like that. So paranormal's always been there, but it was down to this house what really kicked it up a gear of how the Ouija Brothers basically started.
So you've amassed quite a following online, and you go all over the country, stay in the night in the most haunted houses and haunted locations all over the place. But when I asked you earlier where your favourite location was, the scariest place you've been, the best place you've been, you said here. What is it about this place that's so special?
So when the actual first time that we ever come here before we started recording was when we got a lot of activity, and that's basically just spiked our interest from there, and it's the reason that we come back here like all the while, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we entered the house for fun, to be fair. We come in as skeptics. I'd never done a paranormal investigation ever before. So when we walked into that house with no equipment, no cameras, Carol giving us a good laugh, you're going in a house just to sit there. It was like, yeah, well, you know, it's meant to be the most haunted. We don't have to perform. Let's see what this house can do. And I'd say within 10 minutes, things kicked off that, to be fair, changed our lives forever. You know, I mean, I know that sounds pretty dramatic.
But it does.
But it did. It changed everything. You know, we kept coming back and things just always kept happening. You know, it's the only place that I can legitimately say we've experienced paranormal activity, poltergeist activity. We've travelled all over England, everywhere. I think we've done nearly 180 videos, 180 locations. We've done a lot of stuff, and nothing touches this place. I'm not saying you get stuff here all the time, because you don't. You know, we've had many nights where nothing has happened, but when it's active, when things happen, it'll just change your entire mind and opinion. You know, I mean, we are logical. We do like to remain skeptical, but we can't deny the stuff that's happened inside this house, and it's why we always keep coming back, and why everyone always asks, what's the scariest place? What's the best location? And we always say, we don't even have to think twice. It's always 30 East Drive.
Well, people are fed up. They think we come here all the while. Yeah. And we have come here more times than any other location. But the funny thing about when we first came was Carol was actually laughing at us because we was just going to be there sitting in a room. And she was like, you're mad. Why have you come here with no equipment? And we thought to ourselves, maybe we should have got some equipment. Yeah. We just enjoyed the night, and that one night, if you get to hear it, you'll think that we're mad.
Well, that's going to be my next question, really. You mentioned that some things happened that changed your life forever. What were those things that changed your life? What happened that night?
Well, I'll start you off straight away. You know, we walked into that house laughing, a bit nervous, or you know, definitely nervous, but the house has got like a bit of a history with knives, especially after the most haunted, controversial stuff. So there was always that stigma of, oh, the knives get thrown around. So there's that like kind of joke about the house. So when me and my brother first went into the house, first thing we see is the knife drawer taped up. We're smiling at each other and going, oh, here we go, you know, living up to its reputation, trying to install that fear that knives go missing. We took the tape off, we had a look inside the drawer, and we had a look, and there was like 5 knives or something like that. And Griff and his dad was sitting in the kitchen. There used to be like a red chair in the corner. Firmly planted, reading the guest book. And Griff was in and out the house just getting stuff out of the car. And me and my brother went around, we got to the bottom of the stairs and was like, oh my God, we're finally here, the iconic 30 East Drive. Look at these stairs, just taking it all in, you know, looking in for about 2-3 minutes thinking, can't believe we're doing this. went upstairs, up there for about 5 minutes. And as we come down the stairs, I turned around to look at my brother, and there was 2 carving knives on the 3rd and 4th step. And Griff started walking into the hall. I said, "What are you doing here? Why have you put them there?" And he was like, "What are you on about?" He had no idea about this house having the history with the knives. He doesn't watch Most Haunted.
I didn't watch Most Haunted.
He had no idea. And I was like, "Griff, there's 2 knives been put on the stairs." And he was like, "Well, that's got nothing to do. You know, my dad's in the kitchen reading a book. He's sorting out all the, bringing in clothes." He said, "Where were they? You must have just walked past them and didn't even notice."
That was my only theory, or my dad's like flash, because there's no way from the time that we've left the house to go to the car and come back that my dad, he's an overweight man. He couldn't have got out that chair, ran to the stairs, ran back, sat down, got the book in the time it took me to go from there to there. It was less than 10 seconds or something than that.
So, and obviously we was checking those, you know, we was standing at the bottom of the stairs checking. Obviously we would have seen 2 carving knives on there, you know, they're not like little knives, these are big knives.
Yeah.
And, you know, all this happened within the first 15 minutes of being in the house, and it definitely changed my opinion of people having a laugh and a joke at knives, because now, unfortunately, I've got this knife story where people are like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, whatever," but it legitimately happened. They must have teleported out of that drawer onto the stairs, because when we went back into the kitchen to check, there was only 3 knives in the drawer instead of the 5, and that happened within 15 minutes.
Well, it must be, because obviously there's a lot of stories with things appearing and disappearing. From the same night, we also had the same thing happen with a polystyrene white ball, and that appeared and disappeared. Not right in front of our eyes, but literally that disappeared. It was in the middle of the living room, and we was all talking, we was all having a laugh and everything like that. And then we says, "Oh, we'll go upstairs." And it was like, went upstairs, come back down, the ball had gone missing. And we was thinking, where the hell's this ball gone? And we stare, checking each other, patting each other down, because it
body searched
everyone, because it's the first time that we'd ever been on an investigation together. My dad and Stephen's brother didn't know each other at all, so there was like that little bit of not trust or something. So they're about all patting each other down and everything. No one could find this ball, and this ball, to conceal this ball, you'd have to be gifted anyway. So
we turned the house upside down pretty nicely.
This ball was about that big, and we literally went through the house. Sorry, Bill. We destroyed the house looking for this ball, and couldn't find it. We just give up.
Yeah, after about an hour, we give up.
Just give up. He says, "I can't believe that's disappeared. I don't know where the hell that ball's gone." And we come back downstairs, all sitting in the front room.
Shut all the lights off.
The same room that the ball went missing. We sat down, lights off. Sat there for about 30, 40 minutes for him. Nothing happened. Let's go check on the doll, because we'd set up a trigger object in the coal room. Went to check on the doll. The doll has got, for some reason,
moved shelf
and has a necklace in its hand.
Yeah.
Then, as we left, Steve went, "You ain't gonna believe this."
The white ball had reappeared in the living room in the centre where we were sitting moments before.
And we was all,
and
what the hell's happened?
Yeah. And I remember sitting on the stairs, just absolutely gobsmacked, thinking, what the hell is going on? So that was just like 2 instances that we've just covered that happened within the first few hours of being inside the house.
Yeah.
A lot more things have happened. If you go and check out the Black Monk of Pontefract book, it kind of goes through a lot of the stuff that happened that night. You know, we don't want to kind of bore everyone right now, but the very final thing that happened on that first night, the legendary night, we all went to bed, and it was that terrifying. We all slept in the same bed, you know, 4 big grown adults, him sharing a bed with his dad, first time in 20 odd years.
I've never shared a bed with my dad like that.
And we all just had to jump in bed, well, not the same bed, but in the same room. We went to bed about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and as soon as we got tucked up in bed and was like, just get us out of this place, man, it's so bad. We started hearing dragging coming from down below. It sounded like someone was getting the kitchen chairs and just dragging them. And my brother was like, "Oh, should we go down and check?" I was like, "We've had so much, I don't care anymore." His dad does an infamous line. He goes, "Let him effing drag, you know, we've had enough." So we go to sleep, and about an hour later, a noise started to happen next to his dad's head, and he was like, it sounded like a ball of electricity building.
Yeah, like charge.
Yeah, it was like a charging sound. And it was like a firecracker that like exploded next to his head, and then it woke him up, and he'd woke my brother up. Well,
your brother was already awake.
He was still
'cause
awake.
He's got
Insomnia.
Insomnia.
And they both turned around and they seen this big ball of orange light in the room next to his head, and he lit up the entire room, big ball of light. And he said they just looked at him, gobsmacked, and he like curved, flew out over the top of me, out through Philip's bedroom window, and there was like, what the hell was that?
And we literally caught the. It's a shame because we're sitting here now, so we can only describe what we heard, and the end of what I saw was
commotion.
It was like the commotion of them two, my dad and Dave, and then me looking at the wall. My account is looking at the wall, massive lights, like that, and I turn round and it's kind of like a crackling noise as it leaves out the window.
It's like a
and
ball
I
of
saw
energy.
that, and it was like a ball of energy. And like I said, you're going to think that we need to be put up in a mental institute. But
And well, in the 7 years since that's happened, we've never experienced anything like that ever before, or ever since, I should say. And that's why whenever people say, "Oh, you're just not believers," I was like, "We are believers because we cannot dismiss that all them accounts."
yeah,
What do you think then is in this house?
I've honestly,
I don't know, because I'd like to say there's a multiple amount of things in the house, and there's many theories that can be told of what it could be and what it is. And
Do you think it's a monk?
a lot of people have got strong beliefs that it's a monk. A lot of people strongly believe that there's children in the house. And
well, only yesterday, while we was getting some B shots, some cinematics for Burl, out of nowhere, I was at the bottom of the stairs, and I looked at the top of the stairs, just thinking how I'm going to do a shot, and I seen like a little child black figure, like the height of a child. Don't know if he was a child, looking around the banister and then darting off. I seen it clear as day, and I didn't even react. I was just still focused on the shot. And then about a minute later, I said, "Jace, I've literally just seen something dart around that corner. Very small, very dark and black. I don't know what it is." I think we've all got our different opinions on what is inside the house. For me, I think I've kind of given up on what it is. I just want to experience and see more activity, because that adrenaline rush is incredible. Because I don't think we'll ever know.
No.
You know, I've never seen a monk, but other people have.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, just to be here is fascinating enough. And after doing this for so long, I mean, ghosts, poltergeists, and all that. I don't know what it is, but we know it's real. Whatever the paranormal is.
we know there's something out there. There's something that needs to be explained, but we can't physically explain it. And there's, I mean, even just take, for example, the small things that we've had over the space of a day and a half. You've seen, Barry behind the camera's seen a shadow figure dart past my shoulder down here. I've had a growl in my ear, and Stephen has seen a figure of a girl.
running.
And that is just a day and a half in the life of 30 East Drive. And you just never know when it could happen. And it just, what is it, Stay? Lightning in a bottle?
Thunder in a bottle.
Yeah.
I don't mind admitting that I get quite freaked out and scared by this house. Do you get frightened in there?
So for me, the first time I ever come in, well no, it's the second, when we was with Joe and Laura, I was upstairs and we had heard singing, girls singing on the hallway.
In weather like this.
In weather like this. And
Sunny,
singing, laughing, joking. And I was like, I said, everyone go downstairs and allow me to just like ask to see if anything's here. And this was at a point again with no cameras. I was doing it all audio on my phone. And I lay on Philip's bed in his room, and I asked gently, quietly, says, "If there's anybody here, can you come towards me now?" And then all I heard was like in my ear. I got up, come down the stairs, F this, walked outside the house, and that's the only time that I've ever walked away from a situation.
Run.
And well, I mean, we, like for the camera's basis, ran out of the house. And that's the only time that I've ever run away from anything, and I will not do it again. But it was a shock to have that experience, and like now I appreciate it rather than run away from it. So that instance freaked me out. But then, from then, if you watch our videos, you'll see that we're in quite solid state.
Yeah. We've built up a lot of confidence, and it takes us a lot to kind of get us out or feel a bit on edge. But I will admit, the more we do this place, the more comfortable I kind of get. But I'll never forget the activity and the things we have experienced. But when I come to stay here on my own for 48 hours, that was probably the most scared I've ever been, because I had no backup, I had no help. It got that bad I had to even ring my brother on the second night, because he was all starting to kick off a bit. So I kind of cheated on the 48 hours, but I'll never forget the first night just doing my own teeth, brushing my teeth, and trying to settle and get into bed on my own. After everything I've experienced over the years, was quite a terrifying experience, to say the least.
I like the story where he left his wash bag downstairs, and he had to go and fetch it.
I realised, because I went to clean my teeth in the bathroom, I was like, oh no, I've got to go back down. So when I did go back down, and because it's an electric toothbrush as well, so I'm there, I'm brushing my teeth. I was like, please don't touch me from behind, please don't do anything, don't come. I mean, it's ridiculous looking back now, but then it was terrifying, man. I was all in the dark, and I only had my little camera light on the camera. It was fun. I would love to do it again, though. I think.
When I do my 48 hours, I know for a fact that this is one of the only houses that makes me feel on edge.
Yeah.
So
during the day, it's all right, but once it starts to get darker, and the vibe definitely picks up.
Your mind sets in, don't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever brought a skeptic into the house?
The one skeptic that it's a pretty fascinating story, to be fair. So again, Ouija brothers weren't a thing, no cameras, no gadgets. We came here for 4 days to live, brought our PlayStations, brought the PSVR, we brought a Christmas tree, dressed it all up. We was here to just live here for 4 days.
Living like kings.
And on the final day, and the first 3 days, we was getting so much activity. And it was always when we went to bed. My bed quilts were being pulled, I walking, coming up the stairs, whispering, talking,
even
growls,
standing on the bed.
Standing on the bed.
Standing on the mattress that you're on.
We was having a lot of stuff happen. So Griff brought one of his friends around, Cheryl. On the day she came, we done about 30-minute long vigil. So all the rest of us went to the pub down the road, and we'd all take it in turn to do 30 minutes investigation on our own. And when we was at the pub, I was telling her all these stories of all the things that have happened over the years. And she was looking at us, smiling. She was like, are you sure that happened? You really believe all this? I was like, honestly, it happened. And she's like, yeah, okay. Well, I've been doing it for this amount of time. I've never seen, experienced, or felt anything like that. And I was like, believe me, man, let's just see what happens tonight. So as we was living here for the 4 nights, we kept going for breakfast down the road, and we'd go to the Weatherspoons to have our dinner and tea. And each time Griff would leave his phone, he would turn off vibration mode, he'd put it on aeroplane, and he'd put it on a pillow in Philip's room on a stand. So he couldn't shake, he couldn't move, nothing could happen with it.
It was solid.
Every single night, and every time we kept coming back, there was crazy EVPs, people talking, It was crazy. So the final night, before we left, Griff was like, do your worst, do everything, give us a message, let's see, we can't wait, and blah, blah, blah. Cheryl's like, whatever. We called the taxi, we left off, we're all smiling, can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah. So we had our food, we was talking about it, and then we come back, and literally walked up the stairs, and I stood there. These were all downstairs, and I literally stood, and I was like, shaking my head. You ain't gonna believe this. What's happened? Everyone runs up the stairs, and I'm just there with my hands out like this. Unbelievable. It smashed my phone, all the back, because it was before it was all in-house phones. So we'd had the battery, the SIM card, the back of the phone, and a case and everything like that, and it was just all on the floor, smashed up. Everything was just broke, everything was just lying there, and I was like, I can't believe this has happened. A bit like that meme where he goes, I can't believe you've done this.
Yeah.
And then you're like, put it back together quick. So I'm there, put it all back together, and I look, and the foil's gone. There's no foil, there's nothing. And that's Cheryl.
Oh yeah, we turned to Cheryl, and I said, how do you explain that? And her face was such a picture, it was proper shocked, and she had no explanation. She said, the only thing that could have happened is Carol next door knew we went out for tea. She knew what time we went, and she sneaked into this house with not knowing what we had set up, what cameras or whatever. Even though we didn't have anything, she didn't know what we had set up. She's walked into that house and she's destroyed that phone and threw it on the floor.
Yeah.
She said that's the only logical explanation, and I said, do you think that's what happened? And she says no.
Because
She's like, it's way too much of a risk. After that, she was like, we're all sleeping downstairs together. She's not staying on her own. And that was amazing.
that was skeptic number one.
And which made it even funnier is I went downstairs and I told my brother, this is all within the space of 3 minutes of us finding his phone. And I went to my brother and I was like, his phone's in pieces on the floor. And he was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. He went to take his hoodie off. And as he took his hoodie come off over the top of his head, all the lights went off in the house. It went
amazing.
pitch black. And he was like, what the hell's happened? Because obviously it was all lit before he took his hoodie off. As he's taking it off, lights go off and he comes out. He was like, what the hell has just happened?
Yeah.
All the lights just switched off in the house and we were like,
Complete
what
darkness.
the hell is going on here? It was incredible.
It was great.
As you are here with the owner, which is quite a rare opportunity to have the owner of the house here with us operating a camera, is there anything that you'd like to ask Bill to do to the house?
I'd love to see the house kind of get lived in again in a way. Not like full time, but to try and just bring some different energy instead of the same people coming in with the gadgets and always calling out in the dark. Let's run up his electricity bill. Let's put that heating on and cost him some money and get kids and people just to live there, and live day to day and get that kind of energy instead.
Recreate the conditions.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that would be amazing. And, just do that for a month or two. And so it'd be no ghost hunting. That would be absolutely
Just
incredible
living
to
in,
see and to see if
But
anything
you'd watch
happens.
it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Do you know if it was online, you'd watch it? Oh no, I think a lot of people would watch it too.
And even the spirits or the poltergeist or whoever's here might actually get some motivation and go, holy,
Yeah,
what's
I wanna
this?
get this
Because all they've known for the last 5, 6, 7 years is people coming in, can you do this? Can you do that? And he must be at a point now, he's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely done.
One of the things that I will say is as well that from my experiences, you come in the property at 7, 8, then
6.
6, 7, 8 we can say, and then you leave the house say maybe 2, 3 in the morning. Some people might stop over, though I don't think the majority do, but then you've got a massive gap in the day where there's nothing, there's no energy, it's just dead.
It's resting.
So it's rest, and I think with a family and stuff like that, and with people coming in, it's that constant energy, getting ready for breakfast, got to get them ready to get to
but it's
school,
like using TVs, using energy that way as well, and playing games and
laughing and joking and arguing
arguments and things like that, just what normal houses are like. I think that'd be amazing.
I wouldn't say that too much. People might think you've got an argument to do. So you what up, bloody? But yeah, that'd be great. It'd be great to do lots of experiments, and that's probably the answer to the question.
Yeah.
What would you, what advice would you give to ghost hunters, professional or otherwise, who come to spend the night in here? What advice would you give them to help them get the most out of their time?
Be very patient.
Come in and I'd say lower your expectations, because and not because there's nothing in the house. It's just we have been here over 30 times easily. I'd say more closely to 40, and I'd say about 5, 6 of those times stuff has happened, and when it's happened, it's mind-blowing. The other times it's been very, very quiet. So you just have to come here when the place is charged up, when it's energized, and if it's willing to show itself, you're in for one hell of a night, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But just lower your expectations, come in open-minded, respectful, and if you leave disappointed, just come back, because the next time could be totally different, or it could be more of the same. I mean, the paranormal's called the paranormal for a reason. I mean, if it was normal and it's happening all the time, it'd get pretty boring. So just adjust your expectations just a little.
Yeah.
But honestly, when the house is alive, you'll know about it.
It's called paranormal investigating for a reason, and just because you haven't got something the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time that you've been here, on that 8th time,
Yeah.
it could just explode. And that's why investigating is key to what, if you are a paranormal investigator, the investigating part of that is the key element, because it can take time, it can take forever.
You hear about people who actually do live with real hauntings and poltergeists, and they can even tell you, they can go months without activity, and then all of a sudden they'll have a big explosion, and then he'll die down again. So it's the same with this place.
Oh, there's still a doll?
Yeah, there we go. We've got one doll, people. They've all gone, apart from this one.
Yeah, told you.
Hello? We don't fear you one single bit. Don't fear these boards either. Now, I don't know what you're going to have to do to convince us, so you're going to have to do something real special for us tonight.
Whoa, what the fuck? Oh shit! Could you knock for us, please? What's that? That was incredible. That was paranormal, holy shit.
I don't think they're going to let us in, Jace.
I mean, would we turn into an exploring channel now still?
I think we've always been a bit of an exploring channel.
I just saw something down there, like a head move out from the... Like, and it was like a... Should we do alarm Vigil stuff?
No way. You make that?
Oh, that's going to be one of them. We're going to, after checking the footage, Griff's full of shit.
I don't want to be staying here if that doctor's here. We've got no laws.
Come on, we got to go. Whatever's going on over there is crazy.
It's all trickled down his leg. That's how bad the situation is.
Does that make sense?
He was obsessed.
Was it?
All day.
Did you love this place as much as I do?
Yes.
So we've just arrived to tonight's location, and this is how we've got to get to it.
That's all I'm getting this week, guys.
That was fun though.
Do we need our own protection? Spirit? Demon?
Bitch. Did you just hear some screaming? Hello? Are you at the top of the stairs? Whoa.
Leave me alone.
Whoa.
Then I went blinking. Second. I don't think we're alone. I think there's someone here with us.
Run.
We've been stuck, lost on Pendle Hill.
It's as bad as it's making out. It's fun, but it is. We am lost. How you feeling, Mark?
I'm bloody shattered, mate.
Yo! Look at this! That's crazy, man. And then the police right behind us.
Imagine if they'd seen us coming out the window.
I know. All the things you do, eh?
Which celebrity would you love to take on a ghost hunt with you? I'd Danny Filth, why not?
Greetings everybody, I'm Danny Filth from the heavy metal band Cradle of Filth.
Stephen,
You're right.
not back.
And here we are, guys. Halloween night, 30 East Drive, Griff and
Bucket
Steve.
list.
Want to say a massive thank you, man. I mean, I know I was just told not to, but we have got a lot of people watching us tonight.
Yeah.
The biggest stream we've ever done. We haven't even started, so a huge thank you for everyone watching. Because to be fair, there's a lot of people streaming, a lot of watching, people doing videos and everything. So for you guys to come and watch us tonight in easily the world's most haunted house, 30 East Drive, absolutely incredible. Kind of a bucket list moment as well. I'll never forget the time when I watched Most Haunted live here on Halloween and just thought it was just absolutely insane. So the fact that we get chance to do a live stream on a Halloween night, the most, active night of the year, on All Hallows Eve and whatever, inside, in our opinion, the world's most haunted house is an absolute privilege. Big shout out to Haunted TV, without the E, for making this happen. We're going to go a bit more into that as the stream goes on. But we've got an incredible stream for you guys tonight. We've got plenty of guests. We're going to do some different kind of experiments and stuff like that. Just going to change up the content quite a bit. Excuse us if we don't really look at chat. Even
though I just looked over, I was like, "Yeah, what's going on?"
So you can
big shout out here. We can't do shout outs, can we?
No, but so we've got a lot planned, and we're just going to get cracking onto it. We're going to be live until about midnight, I believe. So I think what we're going to do is get the ball rolling.
What are we going to do then?
We're going to get the ball rolling. We're going to do a bit of an investigation with our first guest. Now, this bloke, you might know, he starred in the Parapod movie. He interviewed me and Griff, which I think is his career highlight.
His main forte is obviously stand-up.
He's a stand-up comedian.
He's a stand-up comedian, worked with some really big names. And yeah, he's right round that corner, so let's just show you.
Here we go.
Here we go.
The one and only.
I looked a bit casual there, just leaning against the door. I was watching you. Hi.
We've got Mr. Barry Dodds with us.
Hello.
The 30 East Drive one.
Well, this is I'm just like you. I was one of the people who watched The Most Haunted live and thought, oh, that must be really cool to do that on Halloween in that house. And here we are.
And here we are.
We've actually been gifted the opportunity because, let me come through to this way and talk to you, because it's not very often you get this chance to do this in 30 East Drive on Halloween, so it's amazing in itself.
So we're going to introduce who we've got and what we're going to do.
He's going to introduce.
So I've brought some guests with me. I've brought some backup because I am a ghost hunter and I've been a ghost hunter for many, many years, but I'm a shit ghost hunter. I've found not many ghosts. So I got a bit of backup in the form of some people who have had paranormal experiences, including somebody who's a little bit sensitive to them. So if we come through here, we can meet my friends.
You're going to hit the lights.
We're not your friends, Barry. Barry's paid us to be here.
This is my friend Louise Conran.
Hello.
And this is my other friend Eddie Brimson. My two friends, both of them.
The only friends that you've got. Would you like me to stand up, Barry?
Definitely. Let's get the energy, flowing. We've got to be standing up. We can't be doing this sitting down stuff. That's only reserved for that one.
Yeah, I am the sitter.
So what we're going to do right now is, Griff will be in shot while I talk. We are going to, because Lou you class yourself as like a sensitive, don't you? And you can sense spirits and everything.
Yes.
So why not just start off with, we're going to go all lights out, we're going to go in the dark as can be. Yeah. And then we're going to go around the house and see if she can sense any spirits, if the house is alive with activity, and basically get the ball rolling. So do you want to go and turn all the lights off?
Yeah. I'll go and turn them all. I'll do.
Yeah. So, we got a donation.
We had a few donations.
Again, guys, we're sorry if we missed any of the donations. We're not doing it on a purpose or anything like that. So, we just got a $50 donation from Donald. Happy Halloween. Again, happy Halloween to all you guys as well. Thank you for spending your Halloween with me, Griff, and our all special guests. From
the big guests.
So, yeah, here we go.
So it's all dark. The only light we've got is the one that's above the camera. Do you want me to keep this on?
Yeah, keep that on. And
do you want me to keep looking?
No, don't keep looking. Just keep an eye. Just keep an eye on it, just in case. And here we are, in the dark, inside 30 East Drive on Halloween. Is the wire good?
Yes.
Yeah, the wire's good for now if we're staying in this room for a little bit.
Okay.
Um,
I'll keep this with the bottom lights on. So,
Do you want
considering
to stand over there?
you're our guests and everyone's heard enough from me and Griff over the years plugging this location, I think it only makes sense that we start the investigation with Mr. Barry Dodds and Lou guiding us through this first section of the stream. So, is there anything that you can feel at the moment, or anything at all?
Well, that's what I was wondering, because you have been in here once before when I first came here.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, how did it feel coming back into this space?
Well, when we first came in, it felt really homely, and the last time that we came, it didn't feel like that at all. But then when I've sort of experienced things like that before, when it's been really homely, then you're sort of lulled into a false sense of security when it's like, oh, this is really nice, and then it goes Pete Tong. So, but I was I think the last time I was here, this is the room where I sort of felt most of the stuff in. And while I've been sat here, it's like, I can feel like, do you ever get like pins and needles or tingling in your fingers and stuff like that? So I've sort of like been getting that, but I don't know whether that's because I've just had loads of Coke. Not drugs, but like Coca-Cola. But I don't...
Other brands are available.
Other brands are available. But yeah, so I need to sort of like, when we walk around, we had a little brief walk around upstairs, and Eddie sort of like, you said you didn't like
I don't like, the one of the bedrooms when I walked upstairs. I've never been here before, so this is my first time here. And it just feels, it's not what I was expecting at all. It feels like a really
Which
nice
room was that? Philip's?
Philip's room. Just as I walked up the stairs, I looked in there, and my initial reaction was, I don't like that room.
Yeah.
But but the rest of it just feels nice.
There is a cold spot at the top of the stairs, though, isn't there? And I don't know. Again, you have to logically work out: is it because there's a loft hatch there?
Yeah.
But where the cold spot wasn't near the loft hatch, so I don't know. We'll have to. Have you ever felt that at the top of the stairs?
What I've felt at the top of those stairs is an odd feeling outside the bathroom door.
That's where it was.
Of
yeah.
breathlessness. Now, I'm aware that I'm not the slimmest of lads.
Yeah.
And climbing those stairs is a challenge as I get older. But it is like an odd feeling, like you feel a bit like you've had the wind taken out of you a little bit, and it is right outside that bathroom door.
Yeah, that's where like I got like sort of a cold, not a breeze, but it was like this cold spot, which, you know, everyone can say, oh, you're in a haunted house, well, you're going to get that. But that's when you logically have to work out, is a window open, is it from the loft or whatever. But that's interesting because it was in exactly the same spot as you're describing that. So
what's odd as well is that when I was last here with you, I didn't know as much about the house as I do now, and there's something that I know about that bathroom now, and I don't know, because I know that when we came here we got told that there was some sort of portal or something. I don't know if you remember this. But I've since found out something more of the story about that bathroom. I don't know if you want me to tell you now.
Oh, you can tell us when we're up there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Can you sense any of this, Lou, like what could have possibly happened in the bathroom, or
someone's... Well, while we were here, it was Steve that...
Someone did something horrific in that bathroom.
Yeah, somebody did something really horrific.
Yeah. So what I think what we're going to do is, shall we start calling out then, Jace?
What do you want to call out in the front room?
I think we might as well.
So we've got the lightning rod with us. I don't know if we already said that.
So this
man here, he's a special gift.
He's a portal.
He's a portal to the other side. He's basically a lightning rod.
Yeah.
We've been told.
In the words of Barry Dodds.
Supposedly.
In the words of me, when we're in bed at night together.
I don't think that's channel friendly, but we'll carry on.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a lightning rod, so we're going to be using him as like a little bit of a beacon, a light.
Definitely.
And so yeah, if we want to call out, start calling out into this room, seeing if we can get anybody to come and talk to us. So does anybody want to start? Anybody feel comfortable? Anybody want to ask something specific right off the
bat?
I'll set the ball rolling then, with the obvious question. Is there anyone here with us tonight? Is anybody who'd like to come into this room and talk to us?
Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. So it was like a noise upstairs.
I didn't hear that.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, if I take my hat off, I might be able to... Go again.
Is there anybody here who'd like to communicate with us this evening?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're banging, could you make that bang a little bit louder? I can hear trick-or-treaters.
There's a few voices
I can hear some
outside.
voices outside.
It is raining outside, so the trick-or-treaters have stopped.
That's a good
I
thing.
suppose
Isn't it?
Yeah.
the one good thing about this house is that, like, to differentiate between what's going on outside, like I can hear the pond noise constantly just trickling away, but that noise the I heard.
There.
Oh, there it
That.
is again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in here.
So what I was talking about, obviously, like that kind of banging noise. I heard.
That's
so.
what you think is in here, but I thought it was from
Yeah,
upstairs.
more
Yeah,
just
yeah,
my
yeah, as
direction.
in here, in the
house, right,
yeah,
right,
but
right.
upstairs.
Yeah.
My direction is there. So
Could you do that again, please? That's the spirit of 30 East Drive. Could you make that noise again? Upstairs. We've heard it a few times now.
I've gone a bit cold. Can you?
I've gone boiling.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm literally sweating.
I've gone completely the opposite. So that's really weird. Do you feel like a temperature?
No, I feel exactly the same.
So I've gone really cold and you've gone really hot.
Yeah, literally sweating now.
Can you sense anything that has possibly come towards you, Lou?
Well, yeah, I can feel, and I've got the fizzing in my fingers again. So, and but you've got, that's really interesting that you've gone boiling.
Absolutely
Yeah.
boiling.
So if that is the spirit of 30 East Drive, if you could just give us another knock, a couple of knocks, or a bang, or touch one of us.
Okay, what we're going to do, we are going to head upstairs.
So we'll just keep moving.
So we'll turn the lights on just for now, just so no one, tumbles or.
That's really weird.
Honestly sweating.
Yeah, you are. Is that just panic, or is that
Just panic.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
No, I'm boiling.
Yeah.
So
I'm
you
really
you
hot.
two are feeling different temperatures,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
interesting. So what we want to cover, actually, very quickly, then we good.
Yeah.
So if any of you watched our last video from the legendary 30 East Drive, we had some camera action in this very spot where Griff is.
Yeah.
Now,
So this is good.
yeah, well, I was just kind of pointing
I'm
out
a cable boy.
where it was. But if you want to show, because a few people said,
Yeah,
that-
so while we're walking around the house, we just want to debunk a few things that people have said online about, like, maybe this could have been this and that.
Carol
could
got
have
a
been
twig and
So
stuff.
now people think that this door here, because the camera was right here, and people believe that Carol got a stick
Or
through this door,
someone.
through the letterbox of this door, and did something with the camera. Now, the only problem is, there is no letterbox.
yeah, there's nothing.
So, it's just stupid. And there's a curtain there.
Unless she's got a stick that comes all the way around here, all the way down into this section, and then messes
Hold on a
with
sec,
the camera.
Snake.
But then even then,
There could be an hole behind this mirror.
is there a hole?
Imagine if there was. Just imagine that.
Just an eye.
Because we hadn't even looked. We just had the confidence. Two eyes and just there like that, looking through, going, like Ace Ventura when he's looking at the thing he's doing. Like he's like that. But anyway, we're gonna go upstairs just to show you a little bit of like what we had to deal with on that night when we was asleep. There is no letterbox, and there's a curtain there also.
Okay, I'm going to head up first.
Yeah.
So everyone be careful of the wires. As we walk up, it should straighten out, so it shouldn't be too bad at all, to be fair. So I think where we should
put an advert on, Steve, of like we're hiring a cable management person.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So
this is the struggles we have to go through to bring the stream like this, but it's all good. It's all worth it. And I think we're good for cable, yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
So what we're going to do, we're going to switch over. So you can have this camera.
Yeah.
Careful about there. We'll do something in this section here. Yeah. So I've just got to get through it to get this camera.
See now, like I'm standing under this, I can't really feel anything, but it's where you are, Eddie. Can you feel like?
Draft.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, is the windows not open or anything like that? Because that's the.
Do you go into the dark, Jace?
Yep.
Do you not feel like a breathless thing? Like I always feel.
Let me know when.
No, yeah. Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Okay, we're back in the dark. So you're feeling breathlessness at the top?
Well, Barry. Well, we know Barry's very unfit, but I'm saying as am I. But I'm standing under the loft hatch and I can't feel any cold breeze from. Unless you can, but I can't.
I can't feel anything.
But it was just over there where Eddie is. Who's zoning out now?
Sorry, we've got him in shot. He's checking. Can you see something downstairs?
There's a light flicking down there. I don't know what that is.
Oh, it could be Carol's fairy lights.
Alright, okay.
Okay, so we've come upstairs, Spirit.
Yeah.
We've headed upstairs, where me and Griff over the years have had some incredible action.
Oh.
No, we've got a rude one here tonight, guys.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good, honestly. But we've had some amazing activity.
Barry, what?
You can call out for a bit, Barry?
Bal? What's
Bal?
that?
Bal.
Get in, Bal.
Okay, I'm talking to whoever is in this house or who is supposed to be in this house. I'm asking you to make yourself known to us tonight on camera. Can you let us know through a bang, a knock? Can you move something? There's lots of doors here, things you can move.
I was like tapping, weren't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that the rain though?
Rain.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we can debunk that, guys. Just the rain.
There's toys and things in the rooms, isn't there?
There is.
Yeah.
Do you want to come into this room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we'd
Okay.
if we sort of ask for.
So if you guys want to go over into the corner near the dolls, remember just be a bit careful of the wire.
Just, have you ever had the dolls moving before or anything like that?
We haven't, no.
No.
Do you sense anything in here?
No, this is the room I spent a lot of time in last time I came, and I didn't really get anything. There was no.
Because this is the room supposedly where the Black Monk was seen. The family, the mother and father of the family were asleep. I presume the bed was in the same place, and the monk was stood at the foot of the bed apparently. So.
Ooh. Well, that's horrible. So, isn't it? That's horrible.
It is horrible.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in this room with us now? Could you move towards one of us and let us know that you're here?
We just want to say thank you everyone for all your donations. We are seeing them. We just don't want to break the flow of the investigation, but honestly, it's all appreciated. Thank you so much. I think that's just some of the cable movement.
Okay.
Still some of the cable.
So it's weird with Eddie because he's been like a conduit for it in our house.
We get a lot in our house, and the last house that was happening.
But you're the one
What are we
that
doing here then?
you're the one.
You should come. Honestly, you should come. The house is, there's a lot going on.
You're the one
now.
that talks to them, though. You're the one that.
I talk to them constantly.
Yeah.
From day one, because we got an old house that we've had to renovate, and.
But you're the one that they go to. So maybe if you call out, if you call out and see whether you can be like the magnetic force that brings them in.
Okay. Yeah, brilliant.
And cross your arms. Come on now.
Run on the spot. Come on. Let's get it going.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there is anyone here with us tonight, if you could let us know by giving us a knock, whether it's in this room or one of the other bedrooms or the bathroom.
Do you feel anything?
My nose has gone really cold. but how's your temperature? Have
I
you
feel
sort of
alright
levelled
now.
out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
feel
not
alright
really.
now.
Maybe if we go into another room.
So do you not feel like there's anything in this room? Or
I don't.
Do you feel like there's less energy here, or?
I don't. I feel so boring, isn't it? But I feel okay in here.
Yeah.
And as I said last time when we came, nothing. When I was in here, didn't feel anything. Nothing happened. But it was the other room. I didn't like the smaller room, and I certainly didn't like that room over there. Philip's room, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So I think what we should do is actually we should go into Philip's room then and go through something that's obviously very amazingly happened pretty recently. So I'm just going to go into Diane's room so you guys can walk through.
Just be careful of the cables.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, so head into that room.
Yeah, there's something about
Did
this.
you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
What was that, wasn't it?
No.
You can put that down now, I think.
Oh, I heard that.
Nearly knocked it off, kids.
So very recently in this room, we're going to play a clip in a second. I'm sure you've all seen.
I've gone absolutely freezing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely freezing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is the room where me and you have had pretty much everything, isn't it, Joyce?
Well, the room that you're standing in right now, that room is probably one of the most horriblest rooms you can stay in, to sleep in, and the best place for activity. The majority of everything that we've ever had is in this room right here.
So what happened recently is we're going to show a clip right now, aren't we, Joyce?
Yeah.
So the producer downstairs, if you can hear us loud and clear, roll the footage of what happened when we were here only a few weeks ago, which was just, it blew our minds.
If you look at him, it looks like something pushes on his chest. Now, I don't know if it was like a spasm that you have when you're sleeping, but after checking the footage over 2.5 hours, that's the only time that he actually does that movement.
So we're back live. So do you want to explain that footage and what's happened since then, like some of your research, Jess?
So, regarding in the bed where I was sleeping, it's just there. I've been in contact with the sleep apnea people at the respiratory centre in Wolverhampton, because obviously they monitor me. And they've explained to me that the movement that was done had nothing to do with the machine, and they couldn't explain to me what that movement was. As in, if I was convulsing, I'd convulse outwards. And they said to me specifically that looks like someone's pushed you, and now this is coming from doctors and stuff like that. And I mean, Cole Morgan, one of my friends, he ripped me out the other day, and he was like, there's no way they've got time for you. They ain't got time for anyone. And I'm like, I'm on the books. They know who I am. I've obviously got to be monitored through my sleep because I stopped breathing like first 6 times in an hour, I think it was. And so yeah, I spoke to these guys at the hospital, and they've completely said that it's got nothing to do with the machine. All your vitals were fine. Everything was fine. And it looks like something's pushed you down. So I haven't got any explanation for it, but we had some mad stuff on that night.
Yeah.
Anyway, like something touching the camera.
Yeah.
Like big massive boom. I feel like I woke up 3 or 4 times that we didn't actually catch on camera because the camera died. Like from the next time I'm going to do it, we're obviously going to have it plugged in because I believe there's loads more. And there's one thing you guys don't know is there's another 9 hours footage that we haven't even gone through.
Yeah.
So we might, and me and Sue were speaking about this earlier, we might actually put it onto the members and you can do a little investigation of the footage that we haven't even gone through.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty incredible, that entire sequence of events. And we're going to come straight to you guys. So Lou, do you feel anything at all in this room?
It's a bit. We all 3 of us said while your clip was playing that we all went really cold. Just shut that curtain just to see whether there was a breeze coming through.
Because I could feel.
Yeah, it's here.
The
wasn't
cold.
it?
Yeah.
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 And then
so where was that you could feel the cold?
Here.
Around here.
No, that's
yeah.
exactly where I was sleeping 2 weeks ago, guys.
And I had it when I came in. I just went from top to bottom, just chill, and then the back of my head was just like this. This don't feel great in here. It's calmed down now.
I was standing up on the back of your head.
But when we
it's levelled now. I'm levelled out a bit now.
When we walked in, Barry and I both heard a noise that was sort of a low level.
It's hard to describe, isn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like a growl, but I don't know what it was.
Grunt?
Yeah.
Can you reenact it for us?
Well, I can't really. It was sort of a.
Just try.
Like a. I don't know. I can't do it without feeling like an idiot. But it was just like a weird kind of sort of noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a clearing of the throat, but deeper and longer, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you want to ask if anyone's in it?
I don't.
Why not?
Is there anybody in this room who'd like to make themselves known? We've heard that you're in this room and you're active in this room. Could you do something to let us know that you're here?
That's the youths of Pontefract.
I might be someone.
No, it could have been. Yeah. Never presume.
Never presume.
What do you call your doodah reading? An EMF reader?
It's an EMF meter, yeah.
So actually, yeah, shall we get some of your gadgets here, Barry?
Should we get some of the gadgets?
Why
so, I think everybody knows what these are now.
Hold it up to the camera, they might not know.
If
how many we got watching today?
1,600.
So we've got 1,600 people watching, and there might be 300 of them not knowing what the EMF reader means. So
Fair
do
enough.
to you, mate.
Fair enough. So this is an EMF meter. It reads electromagnetic frequencies in the air. So what that is, everything's got sort of EMF field. If you held it near one of the light sockets or a power socket, it would light up. Now, one of the theories is that ghosts are electromagnetic frequency, or that they contain some sort of frequency within whatever they are. And apparently, if they come close, this will light up. So if I held this near something electronic now, it would, like if I moved it towards there, you'll see that it'll light up. So what we want it to do is to light up when there's nothing near it, and that means that there is some sort of energy field come around it that we know isn't there right now. So if there's anybody here with us now, could you possibly move towards us, move towards the green light?
Have you had that going off in here before?
We have.
I'll tell you a little experience of mine. Well, actually, no, I'll leave it. I'll let you guys just crack on. I'll tell you in a minute when we go and get it.
So I'm going to put this down on the bed.
I'll go and stuff.
Okay, Griff's camera's got the K2.
If there's anyone here, could you sit down on the bed? Could you sit next to that device?
If there's a spirit in this room, the one that's sat on the bed when I was on the bed, the actual K2 meter is on the bed that I was sleeping on, is there any chance that you could lay on that bed or stand on that bed? If you could, just do it for us. Show us this power. Show the people at home what you did to me. Well, you already did.
Do you want us to leave? Do you want to be left alone?
Should I sit on the bed?
Yeah, go on. You definitely why not.
Won't collapse, will it?
Mind.
Can you move towards Lou? Can you walk towards Lou, who's sitting on the bed? Was that one of us?
I think was he maybe just Griff moving.
Yeah.
If there's anybody in this room and wants to show themselves, just sit next to Lou or get close to Lou so that we can see you on the meter.
It's gone really cold again.
Is it?
Over here, yeah.
If you're there, would you like to go the other side of Lou?
Can you feel something?
Yeah, I felt like a gust of wind in my face, but it in my head I'm like, well, why isn't it showing up on there? Do you know what I mean?
Well, there's no exact sort of science to it, so you could feel something that doesn't pick up.
I can feel like you know when you feel like somebody's next to you, you know, like somebody's close to you in a lift or something like that. It feels like that, but it feels really cold, like here.
Can you come closer? Can you get right up close and let us know that you're here?
Drop that light off a sec, so.
Just to clarify, you will be able to hear some the rain dropping from the guttering.
It's a perfect night, really, for energy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, for the weather.
For the weather.
100%. So Lou is actually sitting on the bed where Griff, we'll use the word, got attacked.
Oh, you can't say that.
We just said it. Now, Lou classes herself to be a sensitive. She can feel energy. She just said she felt something coming towards her. If that's true, Spirit, could you push her down onto the bed? Like you done to Griff, if that was you. You can use all air energy.
Sounds bad, don't we? Use all our energy to attack her.
Yeah, but she's up for it.
Jesus.
She's up for it. But please, that would be some incredible evidence. But I'll tell you what, if that's a bit too much just for now, which it can be, if you could, how about we just start off with something very small? Could you knock
was me, sorry.
Could you knock on this door, please? That's right next to me, leading into the room. We heard that as well. We heard 4 knocks. We've had knocking as well over the years. If it's possible, knock on this door to let us know that you're here with us.
There's a knocking underneath, man. Ah.
The boiler's just kicked in.
There you go.
Boiler's just kicked in.
Oh God, my arm.
Mm-hmm. But come on, keep it building. Copy me. It's just the floorboards.
I mean, but what's going on? Why making that noise just?
Did you say it was the cabinet? Who was saying that the cabinet was going off? That they heard the cabinet
On
banging
TV.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That was the guy.
So can I go and get the Melrim?
Yeah, go grab the Melrim.
So do you want to hold this? Yeah. And I'll go get the Melrim, because just hold the camera on me a sec. Because one of the things in this room that I've had more than most is that REM pods and Melrim. I've got my hand. Okay. REM pods and Melrims, they tend to go off. So in the corner over there, I've had the REM pod with, I mean, on the older videos, as if anybody can see, go and watch them, not now, obviously after. I've had the REM pod go off in that corner, and I've had Melrim activity here. So this room for me, I think is worth testing to get the Melrim. So I'm going to fetch it. That's basically all I had to say. Whatever.
So Griff's going to get the Melrim.
Just put this here as well. If this is where you felt, so just put that there. Give that a different place.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Steve, do you want to explain what the Melrim is?
So the theory behind that one is it's got a nice little antenna that creates its own like ball of like EMF, and you have to break that barrier to create a noise, so to speak. So it's one of my favourite instruments because EMF doesn't really set it off too much, but because you have to break the barrier, don't you? And it creates that like nice little noise. Now, pretty recently we did have a Melrim, and it was set right here on this table, and it was a fresh battery, brand new, and it died within an hour, which was pretty mental because these batteries, the Duracell Plus, they usually last around about 4 to 5 investigations, not hours, investigations. So for it to die within an hour was very, very strange. So that's what Griff's going to do now. We're going to continue to do a bit more investigating in here for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to switch it all around. Yeah?
You have to bring your camera down here, sir.
Why?
For what? Because I've just walked into the front room, and we ain't been burning candles, have we?
No.
And so there's smell of burning candles all in the front room.
Serious?
100%. Come and smell it. I ain't even joking. Just come and smell it. I've done because I was looking for the Melrim because I don't know where you've put it. I genuinely don't know where you've put the.
We'll take this.
I'll sort out the wire.
All right, guys. So Stephen's just sorting out the wire for the camera, and I've opened up the door in the front room to go to get the Melrim because I actually don't know where it is. The next question was going to be where the hell's the Melrim, and I've gone in here and I've had a massive smell of, do you know that when a candle gets put out and it's just like the wax kind of smell afterwards, the warm wax, you can smell and the burning. And I don't believe that we've had any candles on. I don't believe that we've I don't think you're allowed naked flames in 30 East Drive.
Can you smell it?
Can you smell it?
No, I can't smell anything.
So I literally opened that door, and the first thing I smelt was burning candles. Like, do you know, like candles being put out?
Mm.
So that's what I smelt. And there's no candles in here.
No, nothing.
That's all.
No.
I mean, there is a lighter there. Whose light is that?
I don't know. That was here when we.
Where's the candles?
Definitely when I first walked in. So.
I can see. I can vaguely smell like
Yeah, well,
a musty smell.
you've got to think. As soon as I open that door, as soon as I open this door, it was literally the smell of burning candles. Like, well, not burning candles, because candles obviously burn, and I've said that loud, so I sound like a fucking idiot, but a candle that's just been extinguished, sorry, and it smelled really fresh, and I was like, bloody hell, what's that? And there's been no one down here, because there's only us in the building, and why would anyone set a candle? Hold that. Or do you want to get the mail room?
Did you find the mail room?
No, I don't know where it is.
Okay, we'll find the mail room for 5.
So Steve's going to get the mail room. I'm going to talk about burning candles, which everybody knows candles burn anyway. Cheers for how many people have been joining us on this investigation so far. Really appreciate it. All the donations that we've had, really appreciate it. Just everything you guys do, we really appreciate it, because part of the fun is bringing real, true paranormal events to you guys at home.
No.
So we hope that you're enjoying the stream. I can't see if you're even there. I'm just talking to myself again. Anyway, so tick that on your list. If any of you played Phasmophobia, put
Can you feel it cold there?
extinguished candles on your list, because we're obviously going to try and find out
What's really
what
weird
haunts 30 East Drive
I
tonight.
could feel
I
that.
think the mail room's upstairs.
Is it really?
So,
And I've been chasing around for him.
Yeah, so head upstairs and with that.
Yeah.
We'll head upstairs.
We're going to go back upstairs now, guys. But that is really strange, as we've had no candles to light. That is weird. Proper strong smell. I actually want to go.
You want?
I want to go downstairs.
Here's the mail room. We'll put it on this table.
Move that then.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Can one thing you do for me is when you get down the stairs, can you shut the door to the front room again? Yeah. And then I'm gonna, well, remember it couldn't be fully shut, and then we'll see if we can smell that again and see if it's a resting smell, because that was kind of weird, the fact that I was looking for the mail room and it was up here all along, for one, and then opening the door and just having that massive woof.
Eddie said that tell me what
When
you
we were
said.
driving over, because you was getting all sorts of things on when we were driving over, weren't you? Lou went very quiet and then started asking me all sorts of questions. But I could also smell candles in the car, because I said to you, there's
yes, you did.
candles in the car.
Yeah. So does that mean that it wants us to light candles and do a test with candles, or we ain't got no candles, so we're just getting your house up at home, guys. It's just
I think maybe it's just like it's just sort of a presence of just letting us know that it's here, or it was sort of like what it was. I don't know really, because if it's you,
I wonder
that
if that's
smelt it.
connected to what you in the car.
okay.
Just talking about in the car and it's come with us.
So it's very interesting. Did you want to say something?
yeah, I was going to say, as an experiment while we're up here, would you mind just walking into the bathroom and just seeing if you feel anything?
What, right now?
Yeah, is that okay to do now?
Yeah, do it.
You right there?
I'll follow her.
Okay, yeah.
See that cold breeze just come there again.
Yeah, it's just really cold in here, but I don't. But yeah, it's just really cold.
So you don't pick up on anything?
What do you feel like in there? Did you
Well,
feel
it just-
you felt like you wanted to come out?
Yeah, it just like my temperature keeps going up all over the place, and I don't know whether that's because I'm menopausal, but the cold literally is here, and then I'm standing in here, and it felt like it was in my face.
What was that?
I had that very...
Did you hear that
yeah,
loud
yeah,
that
yeah.
bang was?
Yeah, I heard that. That was downstairs, wasn't it?
No,
I thought
it was
in the-
here.
I thought it was in the parents' room.
It was in this direction, and I haven't moved. I was standing there looking at Griff.
I know, I've been
Did you
filming
hear
you the
that?
whole time.
That was loud.
That was like
It was like a proper, like that isn't even made of the material it would have been.
It was more
like a hollow, yeah.
It was like a boom.
That was good.
Can you do that again? You've got our attention, so try doing it again.
Now that's for me, guys, and for everyone at home. Hopefully you heard that. These mics are really good. That was like that loud, but in the hallway as such, wasn't it, Stu?
Yeah.
It was really loud. So I'm hoping that you guys heard that at home.
Someone said like a kick drum.
Yeah, like it was really loud.
Totally. That's exactly what it sounded
Like really loud. So we've obviously had something happen in that direction, but we've come up here with the Melrem. The Melrem is turned on, so I mean, I know we've just had a massive loud bang, but should we revert back to where we was carrying on?
That's actually shocked me, like how loud it actually was, and it felt like it was like with us.
Is there a camera set up in the parents' bedroom?
There's a camera. There's just us, your camera and our camera now. So what do you feel, Stu?
It feels fine.
No, but how did you feel when that happened?
You know what? I thought it was you kicking the door. But when you turned around and you said, "What was that?" I'm like, "Oh shit!"
You saw me inside the middle of the...
I know. I just thought you just when you boot things just randomly. I just thought there it was smacking the door.
I don't know where he's talking about, guys. I don't go around booting things randomly. I don't know, mate. So you're relaxing. I wish we could switch places. So the Melrem, we've just had a massive noise, guys. We can't explain it right now, but we will go.
Well, we all heard it, didn't we?
There's 6 of us, and 5 of us, and we all heard it.
I did hit. That was like like someone walking.
Yeah, I just heard that as well.
Did you? Yeah.
So should we just shut up and just allow the cameras to do the talking?
Yeah. Well, we're going to be quiet.
You want to record in here as well? Go on then, Stu.
So we've just heard an incredible bang, followed by another 2 footsteps. Was that something going off in there then? Is that the case?
That's just bad.
Okay. So we're going to be quiet for a minute or two.
What the hell's that?
Is that some?
That's someone at the door.
That has to be someone.
Okay, I
at
think
the
we've
door.
got trick-or-treaters. We've had a lot of trick-or-treaters all night.
Is someone pulling the cable?
Yeah.
I'm not touching it.
Yeah, you are stretched on it.
All right, okay.
I'm stood on it. Oh, do you need it? Sorry.
No, something just was pulling it and like pulling the camera.
We've got a lot of trick-or-treaters. A lot of kids have come in tonight, a lot of energy.
This house has had a lot more energy tonight than it would have had in a hell of a long time, because the amount of people that have been in and out of this house just today alone is, amazing, I suppose, for the house. And it's obviously, guys, we've been out, we've been giving the kids sweets, it's different from where I am. I mean, we used to be like this, how the kids are here. And let me turn this around because I'm just pointing at Steve and talking to you. So it's different up here for trick-or-treating. We've had about 120 trick-or-treaters, and chocolate's just gone and gone and gone. It's been fun. It's been good looking at some of the costumes they've had and stuff like that. People are very creative, and this house has had a lot of energy, a lot of knocking on the door. So hopefully that energy's been converted into this house, and we can use all that energy now and try and get some solid evidence that this house is, as haunted as we say it is.
Well, what we're going to do now, because we have been streaming for nearly an hour, we're going to change it up. We're going to bring in another 2 guests that we've got. We're going to do something totally different. But first of all, before we go and show you some of that footage, want to do a big shout out to Haunted TV. Go check it out. They're on YouTube, and it's like a big... We're going to get all into that in a second. But we've been working, some production stuff, some incredible stuff. We'd worked with them pretty recently. Haunted TV without the E. But as I said, we'll get more into that in a second. But right now, we're going to have an exclusive interview with the original owner of 30 East Drive. What a legend. Bill Farrer, 98 years old. We're going to run the clip right now, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And when we come back, we're going to have 2 new guests, and we're going to do something a bit different. So stay tuned, and here's the clip of Bill Farrer's interview.
Bill Farrer.
Hello.
Hello, it's an absolute honour to meet you. I've heard so much about you, and it's amazing to have the opportunity to interview a World War II veteran.
Well, there were a lot of us, like a lot of other lads of my age. At 18, I was conscripting into the army, and we just did what we had to do. We were trained up, and we eventually were shipped over to a little place called Normandy to do a job. It was a bit noisy, but these things happen. We just did it. That's what we did. We were trained to do a job, and we did it. We didn't consider ourselves heroes. We didn't consider anything about that. We had a job to do. We just got on and did it. Simple as that.
It's a fantastic Yorkshire attitude as well. Went over there, got on with it, didn't mess about. Do you mind me asking how old you are, Bill?
98.
You're 98?
98, yeah.
You're looking very good for 98.
So they keep telling me.
I could do a whole interview just asking you about those experiences alone. But we're going to focus now on your time here in 30 East Drive. So we are here in your old house. You were the first people, the first family to ever live in 30 East Drive.
My wife Barbara and daughter Jane, yes. Back in September 54.
In September in 54, yeah. It's what's it like coming back in?
Well, a few years ago, we got in touch with Bill to try and rectify some of the dates that had obviously been bandied about that we realised was wrong. And so Bill invited us up here, and we came back, and it was a strange experience, there's no doubt about it. We'd put it all behind us. It was a no-go area. Once we left here, my wife Barbara would never talk about it. She wouldn't tell you anything about it, not even me, and what had happened to her in this house. It was taboo, absolutely taboo. So coming back, it was an experience.
How much of the house is as it was then?
Well, it's hard to tell, isn't it? Because what was then and what is now. I mean, the furnitures and that, I know Bill's tried to get it back to that period, but the furniture we had, obviously it's long gone. But like I say, for years it was non-existent. Everything that was associated with the house, my wife got rid of it. If we had any photographs, rent books, or anything like that, they all disappeared. There was an article in the local paper, the Pontefract and Celtic Express, and I heard about it, and we used to get that. And when I went to home and asked about it, she said, "Oh, I've spilt something on it, so I had to throw it away." So what was ever in there, I never got to read that. It was not only later on in years when people started writing books and different things that started to think about what had happened in the past, such as like with the ornaments on the mantelpiece. She used to say to him, "Bill, what have you been moving these about for?" And I say, "I haven't, love." And she said, "You must have done because they've moved." But I didn't think anything about things like that. All sorts of things happened, noises but I said, well, it's a house settling. But obviously something was happening that my wife was aware of, that obviously I wasn't. When I'd come off duty sometimes, she wouldn't be here. And then she'd turn up later and she'd been staying with her mother. She wouldn't stay in the house.
When did you first realise that things weren't normal in here?
Well, I don't think I really did realise, not to the same extent my wife must have done. I mean, things did occur, like bottles of milk moving about and splashing off. I thought I might have knocked them, like the ornaments moving about. Trying to do some carpentry work, getting it all squared up. Following day, I come back and it had moved out of position. Things like that, but there weren't the fitments in there are today, like they put in buildings today, so you had to either buy a unit or build your own, which is what I always did, because I was good doing things like that. Still am. Well, I was until a few years ago, till things changed. But yeah, and it doesn't matter how I tried, nothing would fit properly. Couldn't understand it. But I had to give that up as a bad job, to be honest. I've made units since. No end of things since. Anything in wood, I could make it.
What was it that was actually wrong with them then?
Well, I could never get them to fit.
So you'd cut them to size?
Cut them to size, set them up ready, leave them overnight, come back to try and fit them, they wouldn't fit.
It's really bizarre.
Very bizarre, yeah.
Did you ever get to the bottom of it?
No, I mean, you get frustrated to a point, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
You know, when I can afford to buy a unit, I'll buy a unit.
Right.
But like I say, it's only as the years have gone by and what's cropped up that you think back and you realise that something must have been happening, because when we moved from it, I'd come off duty on the morning, being a fireman, and she simply said to me, "Bill, we're moving on Saturday." I said, "Moving? Yes, we're changing with the Pritchards. We're going down Chesterfield Road and they're coming in here." I said, "Oh." I said, "Why?" She said, "I can't live in here anymore." I said, so I accepted it at that. So that's what we did.
Did she ever say what it was?
Never. Never. Never said what had happened or anything.
I also hear that things would happen to your baby, Jane.
Oh, Jane, yes, and she just often appeared with scratches on her face, and we couldn't understand that. And even once with a pillar on her face. Where we're living with the in-laws, she slept like any baby does, no problem at all. We came to this house, she never slept here without crying.
Where did she sleep? Which room was she in?
In the second bedroom, not the small one. We never used the small one. Barbara would not use that room, so we used that as a bit of a spare room. She wouldn't use it. I don't know why. She didn't say why, but she wouldn't use it, because you think automatically for a baby, a small room, but no.
How long did you actually live here?
Be about 8 months, because it was from September to, what was it, May the following year.
What do you think, I don't know what to call it or the Black Monk or whatever is supposed to be in here, what do you think it is?
Well, I don't know. There is many unexplained things in this world. We can't pin any of them down to any one thing. People have come across what they call miracles all over the world, the unexplainable ones. This could be just one of those. People try to scientifically explain them. Some have their own theories. Some people believe, some people don't.
When you did the house swap with the Pritchards, did Barbara say anything to the Pritchards about the house and what she'd experienced?
I'm not aware of what she said to the Pritchards at all. It was never discussed.
Alright guys, and now this next thing, we hope you enjoyed obviously the Bill Farrow interview, and if you want to watch the full the full extended part of that, then you can go to Haunted TV, and the full extended part of it is on there. But at the moment we've got two very special guests, two people that you probably have never seen before on, I suppose, yeah, I'm going to shut up. Here they are. We've got Bill Bungay, the owner of 30 East Drive, the main
Hi
one,
guys.
the one that brings you all to this place, the one that's give you the opportunity to be haunted, or I suppose had an enlightenment experience there. And then we've got Mr. Justin Kell.
Good evening, guys. You're right.
So, yeah, you should all know who Justin Kell is.
Yeah, been around here for quite a while. We've got history.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now is Justin's going to have a bit of an interview. So you've had the first owner of 30 East Drive, and now we've got the current owner. So away you go, Justin.
Cheers, man. Right. Oh, right. So obviously, before we start, just very, very quickly, obviously, for anybody who doesn't know who the hell I am and have either just joined us, I've been investigating this place. I don't know what camera I'm on. Been investigating this place for a very, very kind of long time, over many, many years. Used to be with a group called Paranormal Truth. Been with these guys, Steve Griffin, many times. Still I come in very skeptically minded, don't really like gadgets and things like that, and just want to get a genuine experience. And I came in here very skeptically, and then had the experience I was looking for. Essentially, we'll talk about that a bit later on for those that don't realise what I'm talking about, because it completely changed my mind about this place. I know there's lots of people still skeptical of 30 East Drive, but I get it. I do get it, because a lot of people come in here don't get anything at all. But I had to change my mind, and it happened here in this room. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Right, Bill. Like I said, I've been here ages, and then many times before, but I've never actually met you. It's the first time I've actually met you properly. And I always wanted to chat to you. So it's actually really good. So obviously 30 East Drive, am I right in thinking that you grew up around, or did you know somebody who lived in Pontefract, which is how you came to know about this house in the first place, before the film and things?
Yes, definitely not my territory. No, it's my old copywriter when I was working in advertising. His name was Pat Holden, and his mum was related to the Pritchard family. So his mum used to spend quite a lot of time in this house when the main events were occurring. And Pat, one day, just sort of said, "Have I told you about the family ghost?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And he started to tell me all the incredible things that his mother had witnessed. Pat was too young to come into the house, so it was all sort of via his mum. And then he gave me Colin Wilson's book, Poltergeist! And in it is just the most fabulous account of all the things that happened in this house in the late 60s,
yeah,
70s, yeah. So I encountered it through my...
And I'm assuming then you thought it was such a good account from reading what happened in here that you felt, obviously for those that don't realise, a film producer, and actually felt you had to create a film about this place as well. So do you want to give people a little bit of history about that for those that don't realise about the film and haven't seen it?
Well, I mean, it's at the time I wasn't a filmmaker, but I've always been really into intriguing ideas, great ideas, and Poltergeist moves into Council House just sounded like the best storyline and the best idea that I'd heard in some time. So we vowed that we would turn the story, this sort of legendary story, into a movie, and it took us 20 years. Pat had to learn how to become a director, I had to learn how to produce, so that's why it took so long. But eventually, we managed to get this story out there. And the footnote being that I'd never heard of the story before, but I had heard of the Enfield Poltergeist story. And I'd read about Poltergeist, but I'd never heard about 30 East Drive. And the reason for that was that in the back in the day, late 60s, early 70s, it was, stories sort of stayed local. They didn't really travel as far as you'd think, unless they were, of huge significance. So it sort of stayed locally, the story. So the point there being that after we made the movie, it was really the first time that the events that happened in this house carried out beyond the sort of Yorkshire borders, and that was the beginning of the interest in this house. The second phase of interest, but a much bigger phase of interest.
And obviously, you are the current owner of this property.
Yeah.
So why did you buy it?
Well, I mean, to promote my movie, ostensibly, but my plan was, the long story short, I'd made this film. It's called When the Lights Went Out, and I was really proud of this film. I'm being a marketeer, I wanted to find a really interesting way of promoting the house, and it just so happened that I had a client, Haribo, the makers of Pontefract cakes, was my client at the time. And after visiting my client, I thought, I'm actually going to go down to the house to see this house that I've made this film about. I'd never been over before. And there it was. I'll admit that it had a presence to it that was, probably fueled by all the stories and, the amount of attention that I had, given it over the years. But it did have a sort of, it felt like it had something about it. And it was for sale. And I thought, wow, I can't believe it's actually for sale. I thought, well, it's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it? If I can buy the house, I'll have my premiere in the house.
Yeah.
I'll put 2 people in there, and they'll watch the story about the house for the first time, actually in the house. I thought, that's got to make some column inches, And in the end, we ended up with 2 hardened horror fans who turned up. It was just way below their sort of pain threshold. They barely touched the sides. It's just a true story.
Yeah.
It's not like a horror fest. And I got practically no column inches. It was an unmitigated disaster. It was amusing in retrospect, but suddenly I'm stuck with this house.
It's worked out well there, hasn't it?
But being a skeptic, I just thought I was just going to do it up and sell the house. That was quite literally my plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I might even make a few quid out of it because I did buy it cheap, But in the end, people started contacting me saying, can I visit your house?
And just to kind of clarify for anybody who doesn't realise, you don't live here, you never have lived here, and you're not likely to live here, is that correct?
This is possibly the latest I've been in this house.
Is it really?
Well, give or take half an hour.
Something that you guys don't know is that Bill doesn't like to spend any time on his own in this house.
No way.
And he was downstairs all on his own with noise cancelling headphones on, switching the scenes earlier on. So it was a good experience for you, wasn't it?
They didn't tell me they were going to turn the lights on.
It's like your film when the lights went out.
Well, it certainly is. Yeah. So I've never actually spent a night in this house.
Never have.
No, I never have. I am a marketing guy, and it does sound like a great marketing idea, but I honestly, genuinely am terrified of what's in this house, and I will not spend the night in this house. It terrifies me.
What kind of draws you to that conclusion? What have you experienced things whilst you've owned this property, or experienced things for yourself which you think actually categorically that must be something in here? In this house has made you think that?
Oh, I've experienced so many things, and bear in mind daytime, because that's the only time I'm here. Really early doors. It was a bit later than now. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, but I was only here to let a camera crew out, and so I was in a hotel. I came, let the camera crew out, and I was locking up the house, and I'm thinking, well, I'm going back to London. I need to just lock it down, but I didn't have any locks and for the gates and what have you. So I closed the big wrought iron gates on the driveway, and I put a concrete block. It's a really heavy concrete block to block the gate. There was no one out, and I called for some colleagues that were in the house, and by the time they came downstairs, the back gate had opened 90 degrees. The concrete block had been pushed to one side. Now, I'm no physicist. I like physics, but I'm no physicist. But I'm still pretty sure that can't actually happen.
Yeah.
In the real world, you know, a concrete block just moved out of the way, and with no sound. There was no scraping or anything. It was just the gate was now open 90 degrees, and it was in less than a minute.
Yeah.
I closed the gate, went to the back door, and then my colleagues came down, looked at it, and it was open. That was literally the first thing, and I thought that is not supposed to happen. I spoke to Carol, the neighbour who manages the house for me, and she said, "Oh, it happens all the time." It's very nonchalant, but I mean, you know, the hairs on the back of my neck took about a week to settle down.
It's interesting that's outside the house, you know, immediately outside
the property.
Outside the property.
Yeah.
I mean, has anything happened to you in the property itself?
Oh yeah, loads of things. One occasion I was just washing some cups by the sink. That was the first time I'd ever been on my own in the house, and I was on my own in the house for minutes. I mean, it really wasn't long, and I'm washing some cups, and I just hear footsteps come down the stairs. Clunk, clunk, clunk. It's a very noisy stair case, so you really hear any movement. Clunk, 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 clunk. While I'm washing, I'm thinking that's what I'm sure I'm on my own in the house, and then I hear footsteps down the corridor. Clunk, 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 clunk. And I'm thinking, that was definitely someone walking down the corridor. That's not that. I'm on my own. And then I just hear on the little cupboard to the left of the sink, I just hear. I'm getting out. I'm going.
I was going to say, how long did it take you to leave at that point?
Yeah, but I mean, most profound. I mean, I've actually written a book about the house now, and there's a really sound reason for that. I'm no author. It's never been a kind of on my list of to-dos to write a book, but I was here Valentine's Day 2016. It was a Sunday, daytime again, and again I'm by the sink. I'm terribly nervous about washing up now, particularly in this house, and I just feel the instinct to turn, and as I turn, just over the dining room table, this little object just popped into being, into existence, and was thrown ballistically at my head, and it veered off. It was coming straight at my head. I thought it was going to clock me. There was no doubt it was going to hit me, and it just went around my head, bounced off the window behind me, and landed at my feet, and it was a domino. Wow. It was a number 9 domino, and I can't say what I said on film, but it was pretty fruity. But it was followed up with, you know, now how the hell did you do that?
Yeah.
It was one of the most incredible. Well, probably
what was that?
The most.
Hello? Stay!
Shut up.
Right, okay.
God, hold on a sec,
guys. That's amazing.
Wow. Now, the banging we've just heard is coming from the hallway, we'll agree?
Yeah. I'd say possibly parents' room, but definitely out there.
So for me personally, I felt like it was on this. I'm just getting myself together because that was quite loud.
That's loud, yeah.
So we've heard it kind of like a. It's not even that. It's like a hollow noise, like a. While we was talking,
I thought that was downstairs,
and I believe because obviously we got Steve downstairs on the decks now because we've basically showed you everybody that's in the building now, and that was loud, guys. I mean, let's just.
How many knocks would you say? 6?
That was 3. It was just 3 big. Bangs.
I think it was 4 or 5 put together.
Yeah, because it was 3 and then another couple.
Hello, Spirit. It's not that noise. What is it?
No, it was way deeper. It was like in the building.
I'm trying to figure out the noise, guys, but again, you can see a lot more than me because I'm in the dark, and I know you guys can see stuff at home, and it's in the light, and you know we're all happy and stuff like that when you've all got the light, but we are in the pitch dark.
That gave me the chills.
And we're hearing.
That was proper.
That's it. That's the noise.
Sounded like what are you hitting?
More boomy than that, but that's closer.
That's pretty close,
That's
though,
close
isn't it?
to it, yeah.
So that is the the chest of drawers of the family, like the wardrobe.
Yeah.
That's the wardrobe. I'm just going around looking at the noise, guys, because obviously we're in the middle of an interview with the the owner, which you guys have never had before, and I do need.
Do you know what, that's right.
It's alright, I've got it. So, I'm sorry for this, but at the same time, when we have something so loud, that was kind of ridiculous. Now, was that anybody downstairs? Sorry.
So, that was no one downstairs. We heard it just as loud as you did. But before that happened, there was a knock. There was 3 knocks really loud, to the point where we thought it was somebody at the door. So I went and answered the door, and there's no one there. But it was like somebody banging on pipes.
Yeah.
And Eddie says he swore it was in the room with us. I thought it was someone at the door. I went to the door,
do you believe that could have, like, if we can denominate them, did that sound like anything that could have come from the boiler room above you, as that's above the kitchen?
No, this was downstairs.
Okay.
If we just be quiet for a minute and just listen.
Turn your lights off, Barry.
Sorry. Because it's felt like there's been so much banging, like it was coming from everywhere.
Yeah, because what we've heard tonight is some of the loudest bangs that we've ever heard. The problem is I can't pinpoint them, and it's something that, like, a lot of people at home, even though we know, could be left down to human error.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, there was a little low thump then as I was talking.
Oh. Did you hear that downstairs?
So, there's a few little bangs and that, guys. Obviously, from next door, you can hear a few low thuds. So I'm not going to go in to all the detail of that. But on this side of the building, obviously there's another house attached to it. But the bangs that we've heard have been clear, and they've been in this building, and I can say that. And I can say that with all truth. The noise that we heard up here, me, Justin and Bill, and probably everyone downstairs, sounded a bit like this cupboard that I'm standing next to, like a little like that. But we're going to carry on with the interview, and if we hear anything else, then obviously we'll get back to you guys. And because the owner's in the building. Now, the spirits that reside in this house might not like Bill, because Bill bought this house, and obviously Bill's brought all these people into the limelight with the spirits that reside here. So, I mean, we hope that they like Bill, because Bill's a nice bloke, but there's a chance that there's a few of these spirits that hate Bill and don't want Bill in the house because he's brought all of these people to disturb the spirits. If that is true in any way or manner, could you make a loud bang for me now? Has to be as loud as the ones we heard. Do you like the owner? Who's whispering? Is someone whispering? Alright. Sorry, I thought it was someone. So we're going to carry on, guys, with the interview. Sorry if we broke your train of thought. Another thing that I will say to you guys at home is Justin has the phone next to him.
Mm-hmm.
And if any decent questions come up, so make them decent, he might ask him Bill. It might be your only chance, so get typing, guys. But yeah, amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know that's probably some of the loudest knocks you've heard. I mean, this.
I mean, it's not just some of the loudest knocks we've heard. It's some of the loudest continuous stuff. So we had that massive loud bang while you was out.
Yeah.
Then we've had about 6-7 knocks there.
Yeah.
So the only reason they're not as good as the knock on the door is because I could pinpoint that. I can locate each person. So that's the why they're not as good as that. But at the same time, with everybody's know-how and how important this is to show the truth, I believe that those knocks was no one in this house.
What I find interesting at the minute is...
That's you.
Yeah, what I find really interesting is that when we're having just a regular kind of chat, even though it's about the house, you know, we're having a regular chat, is, you know, the whole thing about when we're talking about something else, it just wants attention, or something may want attention, so it's just going to show in itself, actually, come on, get back onto me now.
Yeah. It's under the stairs.
You think?
That's do you know the noise of the stairs?
Yeah.
The hollowness of underneath.
Yeah, that might be more.
That could be it, because that's the centre of the home, isn't it?
Because it felt very resonant, very full bang. That it wasn't tinny or.
So sorry about saying all them things about you, Bill, but you know, I'm just giving you options.
I like to think that we have a sort of an entente cordiale.
Yeah.
There's a couple, one or two questions saying, would you do a lone vigil in here, Bill?
Absolutely no way. Scratch that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I kind of knew that'd be your answer. I mean, the knocks are really good. I mean, just for those, I've obviously had history with knocks in this place. For the don't realise, a few years back, there was one particular occasion when from within this room, this is Philip's bedroom upstairs, we had and captured roughly a dozen, probably more, knocks seemingly coming, I'd say, from there's a TV unit in here. And first we were all down, everybody who was here was all downstairs in the kitchen area. There was these loud knocks, louder than what we've just heard, by the way, coming from within this room, directly above us as we were in the kitchen, on the TV unit. And I started hearing them, they were getting a bit more kind of seemingly aggressive. I ran up here, put a voice recorder down on the floor in this room, and then went back downstairs again, carried on ignoring it, and then captured 12 good bangs, knocks on this wooden furniture. Nobody was upstairs, everybody downstairs, room was closed off, and to me that was one of the nights that kind of made me turn from a kind of skeptic into somebody who's less skeptical, let's say, of this place, because I know this stuff happens. And if those bangs were something here, I just want more of it. And I will always carry around me this, which is just a regular kind of voice recorder. I always keep on recording.
Is that recording now?
It's recording now.
So
we'll have captured the noises, Okay. Because there's been so many times when you're off guard, you're just chatting, and then something will happen just like that.
Did you feel that?
Slight noise I heard.
No, did you feel it?
I didn't feel anything. What did you feel?
Like a vibration.
Did you? Wasn't because the bed was there or anything like that. But anyway, so it's when you kind of ignore stuff.
Exactly. I mean, in fact, we did an interview for Haunted TV just next door, and funnily enough, it was when I was being interviewed again, and Griff was sat in the doorway, and he just went, "Oh, you're not going to believe this. Something's just growled in my ear." Now, I've already heard a growl in this house before, so. And it's true that when you experience enough things, you tend to become a little more nonchalant because you know it's happening, and I don't need any more proof. I know that this is real, but still I'm thinking, did you really hear a growl? And then when I listen back to the recording, there's a growl as clear as day, and you can go to Haunted.
I was going to say, do you want to say about Haunted?
I like the fact that you doubted that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you kind of. It's weird, despite the fact that I know it's real. I always lean towards kind of a sceptical sort of view from the off, and I know that the boys they don't fake anything, and we ban fakers from this house, and thankfully we don't get many, because you don't need to fake. You just need to come into this house and you know, come as a skeptic, and you know, discover the truth for yourself, the truth of the fact that there is definitely something that we don't understand happening in this house. What that might be is a whole other.
It's like a bit like Griff said earlier in that interview at the very, very beginning. It was like, come with a very low expectation. This place. I would say if you ever come here and visit here and do a ghost hunt here, come with zero expectation. Expect nothing to happen. Expect nothing, because nothing may happen, but it might. And
so nothing's staged.
No,
so,
nothing's staged. No, and people are going, oh, there's pulleys and levers and we've done all that, we've looked, there's nothing. There is nothing.
We've had more wallpaper peeled back and carpets lifted than you can imagine, to the point where we had to say, can you just stop doing that? There's nothing faked. If you think about, you know, the domino that appears, or the marble that came through the ceiling and again missed my ear on the same day, on the Valentine's Day, took off all the varnish from the piano board, some screws that were thrown again over my head in Diane's room. All this stuff happened in one day. It would take throwing stuff you could probably do in a Disney event. I take that, but an object materializing and being real and being thrown at you, I heard that.
It seems like it's under my foot, but I didn't move, but it just seems like it might be the floor.
It was that.
But you know, you can't. You know, in movies you can fake stuff like that, but not in the real world. It would be impossible to do.
This is live. You know what I mean? And the one thing you was going back on was obviously talking about that growl, and obviously you went and looked at the footage, and what did you hear?
I heard a growl, mate. Proper mean growl, and you know, it's there as clear as day, right in the middle of the interview.
And that interview can be found on Haunted TV, which is launched tonight.
Yeah, it's called Haunted. It's a TV channel, so it's called Haunted TV. But you actually go to haunted.com, but that's without an e, HAUNTD.com, and it's the Netflix for the paranormal community, and it will grow. And we welcome filmmakers in the paranormal field to share their content with us. We'll be making you know, bespoke content. It's going to be super interesting, and eventually, hopefully, it's all free for now, but hopefully we'll be able to get some really decent movie content, etc., that you're going to need to pay a couple of quid for to see, but you know, it'll be stuff that you're going to love. So that's why we're doing this tonight, and it's not all about 30 East Drive. It has to be stressed. We're starting here because of its incredible reputation, but we will be travelling the UK length and breadth and beyond, bringing you some really exciting stuff. So we're really super excited. I mean, actually, the point about Haunted TV is that is as a direct result of what's happening in this house. And in fact, the Ouija brothers, they didn't used to be ghost hunters before they came to this house and had that incredible night, which you saw at the beginning of this show. Their accounts. So this TV channel is as a direct result of my experiences in this house and the experiences of other good people like your good selves, because we want to know what it is. It's not just about the knocks and the bumps and the bangs. It's about
finding where they come from.
A proper debate as to what is really going on. And science doesn't seem to want to know, but so we'll do what we can to try and move the debate along and let's try and figure out what is going on, because something very real is happening in this place.
So we've got three separate accounts. Like Justin's become a believer through this house. Me and Stephen created the Ouija brothers in this house, and then obviously Bill is the owner.
Well, I wasn't a believer before I came to this house.
And this is why we go on about this, guys, so much, because this house is the direct result of the Ouija board. So, thank you very much. You are?
Yeah, I'm going. Yes,
Yeah, well, we're going to get to that now, yeah.
As I say, for old time's sake, 'cause it's been a while since I've been here. I've not done calling out in ages.
I bet you've got loads of questions, man. I bet you've got loads.
Right. Come on. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done this. Right. Okay. If there is something, whether it be a child or adult or female or a male entity, spirit, person in this space, and you can hear us right now, can you please do something to show you whereabouts you are? Can you make a noise, bang, or throw something at me? That'd be great. Or Bill, if you don't want him here, if you don't want me here.
Preferably Justin.
Just the floor.
Yeah. So I can hear the rain outside. I mean, God, we know that there's people that come in here every day, pretty much. Every week there are people that come in here and ask for stuff to happen. And by and large, you don't like to do it. Because that's what happens. And yet, when we're chatting, when we go to bed, when we go to sleep, stuff happens. So can you just... Why is that? Do you want attention or not? Does everything have to be on your terms? Tell me who you are. I've got a recorder here. Tell me your name. You got a message from me, Griff, Steve, Bill? Or anybody else in this house? So we know that you can make noises whenever you want. Create noises, walk up and down, throw things, make things appear when you want it to happen. And I'm not asking you, but at some point tonight, can you make that happen? Really? Not right now, a bit later on, can you make something appear? Maybe when we're chatting downstairs. We're not going to be here all night. If there's a child here, and you've been heard, because I've heard you. We've heard children, Griff's heard children giggling and stuff, and I've heard children here. If there is a child here, particularly a girl, because we think it was a girl's voice that we heard, can you come closer to me and tell me your name, please? We mean you no harm. You might want to harm us, but we mean you no harm. If there is a child, please come closer, come into this room, come into this space with me now, and tell me why you're here. What do you want? There's a male spirit who's very kind of forceful on occasions and likes to get their own way. Show me what you can do. Give me a message I won't forget. Throw something at me if you want. I would love that, you know. Weirdly.
You've read it, are you, Bill? So,
Yeah. It's quite something.
Can you make a noise from whichever room you're in?
Something that really struck me was that all, forgive the pun, all the things that have happened to me in and around this house, I've had some connection with.
Right, okay.
So they're not just random things. So the gate I touched and it opened. The domino I clocked, because there's lots of trigger dominoes everywhere. The marble, as the marble came through the ceiling, I was holding a marble. I picked up a marble, I was going to put it in a fruit bowl. My hat's been thrown. There's a red plastic ball that was in the fruit bowl that you can't miss. There was a yellow balloon that was in the middle of the floor. And I know the obvious thing to say is there was a breeze. I promise you there wasn't. And that yellow balloon went from the front room into the kitchen, where I had just, about 10 minutes earlier, I'd been looking, because the floor was where I was trying to put a cut back on the sink, and I chose not to step on the floor because Carol had washed it. And when I went back, a yellow balloon that had been sat next to Carol's chair was sat in the middle of literally where I was looking. So it was absolutely in my field of view on the bit of floor that I examined. So all the things that have happened, I've had a connection.
That's interesting in itself.
Really interesting.
I mean, one of the things I was mentioning this a little bit earlier. Like I said, I've spent many hours in here, and for those that remember when I was doing Paranormal Truth, there was points when we'd spend maybe 4 or 5 days here doing a live stream every night from 8 till 5 in the morning. And calling out like we are, or like we have just been doing, and basically getting nothing. Basically barely getting anything. You know, maybe a little noise, but nothing really what I would say is genuine. And then at 5 o'clock, we stop the live stream, we say goodnight, thank you very much, we're going to bed, we're absolutely shattered. We turn the cameras off, we get into bed. So I would go into Diane's room, Dale, my colleague, would be in this room usually, in Philip's bedroom. Close the doors. Now, bear in mind, we're so tired we literally would be asleep within 5-10 minutes. Before we'd even slept, before we'd even gone off to sleep, we turn the camera, marbles hitting outside on the hallway. And we're so tired we don't care at that point. But to me, that shows intelligence. It shows that something is listening to everything we say.
Yeah.
Does not want to play ball.
That's definitely intelligent.
And listening to everything, or being around to at least getting an idea of what's going on.
It's all they are here.
And
definitely.
And the very point we go to sleep, the very point we go to bed, that's when it starts to throw stuff. When the cameras are turned off and we're all relaxed. It's very, very much like poltergeist behaviour. That I just hope that something else happens tonight. Now then.
What's this called? That's the
that's the K2, the lovely K2 meter, which I don't like using.
I passed it to Bill.
Which I hate using.
I passed it to you.
I gave it away.
I hate using K2s.
Put it on the floor. Put it in the middle of the floor.
There we go.
Well, I just had a struggle just to get this cap back onto the camera. So
you're all sorted.
Yeah, it's all done now. So. Obviously, we do a little bit of calling out.
Yeah.
Is there any? You are. Yeah. So we'll do a little bit of calling out. You've spoken mainly of your experiences and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there any questions that you feel deserve to be asked?
Yeah, guys. Yeah. If you've got questions for Bill, very quickly, we've only got about 5 minutes or so. So if you've got questions for Bill, now is your time. Whack it in the chat, and we'll ask Bill. Basically. Good questions, not crap ones.
So can I
ask you the questions? I'll watch the dot because look, it's going up.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh, it's going up quite a lot.
Sorry.
That could be my phone.
It's not that
far away then.
Yeah.
Might be the lead.
So we've heard a massive loud bang. multiples, 3, 4, 5, 6.
can't make
We can't make our mind up on the amount because people heard different amounts of knocks. Obviously, you guys have witnessed a treat from Bill Bung and Justin Cal. Done a little interview. We've called out, and we're going to carry on calling out for the last section of this before we move on. So, is the spirit that made those loud knocks, is there anything else that you can do? Could you touch one of us on the shoulder? Because it's usually Philip's room, which is the most active. Now, I feel that we've had a lot more noises outside of this room. So you could you come home, come into Philip's room and make a noise, make a loud bang in this room while we're all here. Has to be loud. Loud enough for everyone to hear it.
I just say there's a lot of burning questions, but there's a question that keeps on coming up time and time again, which is CCTV. Have you thought about rigging the house with CCTV to try and capture what's in here?
Well, we spoke about that.
I do get that asked a lot. I mean, listen, it's an intriguing idea, and who knows, maybe one day we'll find a good reason for installing it. I mean, arguably a good reason is that it will give more people a chance to kind of, spend, inverted commas, some time in this house, but we'll see. Maybe.
Jury's out.
I haven't quite sold it to him yet. I have been trying every time I speak to the man to explain to him that it's coverage for the world, coverage for people that haven't ever been to East Drive, people that can't go to East Drive. It'd be fantastic, but he's the main man. So
remember that the first time you came to this house, you and Steve, you had no equipment.
Yeah, no equipment whatsoever.
And you had the most active night that
that we've ever had.
Well, I mean, that almost anyone has had, apart from the Pritchards. The things that you had happen that night were just so extraordinary. They're obviously in the Black Monk of Pontefract book, right?
Yeah.
So fine. I think having cameras everywhere, there would definitely be some merit in that. But I wonder if actually the proper thing to do in this house is to be nonchalant, to not come hunting, to actually not even bring the kit, which is obviously a very hard thing to do, and to just be in this house, because my suspicion is that it doesn't want to get caught on camera. It's quite it's quite evasive when the kit's out. It's been known to push the cameras over, drain batteries, delete cards. We've had that, right? There's lots of things that it's prepared to do to avoid being caught on camera. And so my worry is that if we put CCTV in, it'll just not do anything.
No.
Because of the cameras, or it'll just unplug the lot and destroy it.
Which would be amazing within itself.
Which would be interesting, but no one would see it because the cameras would get run down. Yeah. So I don't know. It's an interesting idea, I think.
Okay. But also you've also got issues, haven't you, about if you have CCTV, you've also got people being recorded when they, without permission and all of that kind of stuff. Exactly, put it on a live stream.
Suddenly becomes like a massive sort of reality TV show, with guests, sort of being the subjects, which could be problematic, I think.
So are we going to go now, Steve? Yep. So guys, we have got something very special. Mr. Barry Dodds did an investigation here. Again, you can watch the full version of this on Haunted TV. And it's an interview with the Black Monk of Pontefract. So we hope you enjoy this one, guys, and we'll catch you after it. Peace.
The Black Monk of Pontefract is a poltergeist that resides at 30 East Drive, Pontefract, West Yorkshire, United Kingdom. It has been featured in at least 3 books, been the subject of many news articles and documentaries worldwide, has had a movie made called When the Lights Went Out, and witnessed by thousands, ranking it #1 in the pantheon of greatest poltergeist hauntings of all time. The entity appears to have intelligence and has communicated with many people directly. So to celebrate the launch of Haunted TV, we wanted to attempt something that no one has ever dared attempt before, to interview a poltergeist. Using our own experimental derivative of a radio frequency scanning device called a spirit box, we conducted several interviews over the course of 2 days. At the time of recording, we sensed that there was an exchange of sorts, not only between us and something unseen, but also between it and a girl or girls, and at times tit-for-tat exchange. Note that the spirit box scans random radio waves, so we found it particularly surprising that essentially the same voices kept being heard throughout the interview. Barry Dodds, star of the movie The Parapod, a very British ghost hunt, and of the hugely successful Parapod podcast, agreed to host. A bold move, given he'll admit how frightened he is of what resides at 30 East Drive. You can watch his movie to find out why. The owner of 30 East Drive fully appreciates Barry's fears, refusing to ever spend a night at the house he has now owned for 10 years. Subtitles that help comprehension have been added where appropriate. During filming, some responses were very clear, relevant and indisputable, but at other times it was impossible for us to decipher exactly what was being said until careful listening during the editing process. It was then that it became apparent that potentially relevant responses to Barry's questions were being offered up by the subject, or subjects, via our Heath Robinson-esque device. However, it is important for the viewer to appreciate that pareidolia, the ability for our brains to see faces in random patterns, can also apply to audio. Our brains want to make sense of things. It's for that reason that many of our captions have a question mark outside them. It's at these times we ask the viewer to make their own minds up as to the interpretation we have made. What you're about to witness is all genuine. Nothing has been faked, scripted, recorded after the shoot, or manipulated in any way. We have only adjusted volume levels and cut out times when nothing of significance was happening to make for a better viewing experience. You will also be viewing everything in the exact order of when it was filmed. Unlike many other paranormal TV channels and shows, Haunted TV is about the reality, yes, reality of all ghostly things. It is why the caption at the beginning of our show says, "This program is not for entertainment purposes only."
Hello, my name's Barry Dodds, and you join me here in 30 East Drive, Pontefract, West Yorkshire. This is the home of apparently the most violent poltergeist in the world. It's known as the Black Monk of Pontefract, and it's supposedly the spirit or manifestation of a monk who was killed and thrown down a well that exists underneath this property for the murder of children. He is known to be a particularly unpleasant and aggressive spirit, and we are here to try and conduct the world's first interview with him. We have some equipment here with us that will help us and aid us in making contact with the Black Monk. We don't know what's going to happen, we don't know what results we're going to get, but we're going to do our best. My first question then has to be quite a straightforward and simple one, which is there anyone there? Is the spirit or ghost of the Black Monk here with us in the house? Are you watching us? Thank you. Can you tell me your name? Whereabouts are you right now? Are you stuck here? Are you in hell? Purgatory? You've apparently hurt people in here. Scratched people, burned people. You've scared people into leaving this house. Why are you doing this? Are you trying to scare people away for good? Are you underneath the floor where we are now? Are you upstairs? Can you hear something? Are you angry that people come into your home? If Emma's here, could she let us know? Are you happy in here? Are you scared? Who is the person scaring this child? Who was the person who was scaring you? Can you tell us their name? Do you want us to help you?
So guys, that's Bill, just leaving 30 East Drive. We want to say firstly, a massive, massive thank you to absolutely everyone who has watched this live stream on Halloween night. It's been an absolute pleasure. Our biggest stream we've ever done. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. We do it for you guys. And we really do mean it. It's been a lot of hard work trying to get it all put together, the effort, but it's been worth it. So massive, massive thank you from me and Griff, who is over there at the table over there. He's monitoring the stream. It's been absolutely incredible. But right now, what we're going to do, we're on the last hour of the stream, and I'm going to do a lone vigil. Griff's going to obviously stay in here because he's got to keep an eye on the stream, and he's going to be switching the camera feeds, you know, to kind of make the...
We might as well just make it official.
What?
You guys know me better than anything. I'm going to be sitting in that chair and I ain't going to be moving.
Yeah.
The noises that we've heard tonight have been amazing. So, like Steve said earlier, appreciate everybody watching, appreciate everything like that. But we've got some investigating to do.
Yeah.
So Steve's going to do half an hour on his own around the house, and I'm going to be completely sitting there, hand on heart, from me to you. So if anything happens, I'm going to have the noise cancelling headphones on, and I'm only going to hear it from there. So enjoy.
So yeah, you've heard it from him. So we're going to get cracking. We're going to get it all started. But yeah, if you haven't already, please smash the like button, share this stream out. It helps massively. And like I say, a bit overwhelmed with the response. We didn't think we'd going to do this well because it's Halloween night and everyone else is live. I thought we'd probably get 300. At one point we peaked at like 1.7 thousand, biggest ever. So huge thank you. But we're going to get on with it. You know, that's enough thanks for one day. So we're going to do this 30 minutes with me and Griff. We're going to stay live up until midnight. So let me just close this door. So we are going to stay live up until midnight. So we're going to do this 30 minutes, and then we're going to get all the rest of the group in and talk about how the night went, and you know, kind of just do like a last, like kind of chill out, call out, read some comments and everything, and then we'll finish the stream and we'll see you again next week. But let's do what everyone wants to see. They want to see the Ouija brothers inside 30 East Drive. So I'm just going to lower the tripod and go on a wander inside. And I know this is going to annoy a few people, but I don't care. The world's most haunted house, in mine and Griff's opinion. Nothing even comes close. So I'm going to just, I'll head upstairs, because that's where we've heard a lot of those noises. There's locked off camera number 1. So I do have this cable. You know what? Let's do what I done last time. And I sat on the stairs. I'll just turn this light off. I'm going to sit on the stairs, people. Let's start our stream right here. Because last time, in this spot, in this very spot, we had those noises on the camera. He was breathing, touching, rubbing, banging. Griff had the most incredible thing happen to him on the bed. Was he paranormal? Was he not? Well, that's the fascinating thing about the paranormal. But it was an interesting thing, to say the least. So I'm sitting here on the stairs. I'm very warm, I'm very hot. So I'm going to call out to all the spirits inside 30 East Drive. It's been a privilege and an honour to be here on Halloween night. Big shout out to Haunted TV, Bill Bungay, for making it happen. We've heard a lot of bangs and knocks. I know a lot of you just think, oh, it's just a knock, it's just a bang, it's just a house settling. But when it sounds like someone booting a door right next to you, that ain't just your regular house settling down. Remember, it's always a lot different when you actually hear compared to what you see on the camera. Stop watching us and go and investigate yourself. Find the truth for yourself. But anyway, there's definitely something inside this house tonight. Could you come around me? Come towards me. If you can hear the sound of my voice, if you can see the white screens, please walk towards them.
We know you like these cameras. You was messing with one only a few weeks ago. Come on, mess with them again. Come on, pull it out of my hand. If you're at the top of the stairs and you can see me, walk down them. Knock the clock over. It's very quiet. Too quiet. If you want me to head upstairs, could you give me 2 knocks, please? I've got to go up anyway, even if you don't knock. That's what we do as paranormal investigators. Give me 2 seconds while I just give myself a bit more wire. There we go, I should have plenty. While I break the mood. Okay, here we are. God, it's warm. It is hot. Some moments ago, well, I say moments, it was about 20 minutes ago, but Griff, Bill and Justin heard some incredible noises. It was like 7 knocks, I believe. Is there any chance you could do that again right now? Summon all your energy, all your power, and knock for us right now, please. This is just the tripod, people. Don't get excited. There we go. Could you knock for us, please? Before anyone asks, of course we would love more. You know, if you wanted, you could throw a book at us. I think that's the Bible. Could throw anything at us. You could growl, whistle. Not many people get to investigate this place on Halloween. Let's show the world what you can do. Could you walk into this room? charge into this room towards me. Scare the crap out of me. Everyone at home wants to see it. There's a lot of people that don't believe in this house. Just think it's Bill's cash cow. That it isn't haunted. That it's a con. Our last video made a few people believers that you really are in this house. Just the boiler. If possible, let's try and convince some more people. Slam that door right in front of me. People think you're a joke. People believe that you don't even exist. And you've only got yourself to blame. For being so sneaky and cheeky all the time and doing things when no one's asking. Looks like a person. What the bloody hell's that? Okay. I thought that was a person lying in the bed then. Just some pillars. Come on, we know you can do something. I think this will be one of the last times that we come into 30 East Drive for a long time. We have been here quite a few times over the last few months. It's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of guests. A lot of different guests. We brought World of Mr. Grey. Dan, absolutely incredible. Hanging out with him for the first time. Hopefully not the last. He didn't see anything. He didn't believe in this house. We brought Mr. Dead Cold Paranormal, Mr. Mark Boner, and his friend Steve. They loved it. They are believers. But you didn't show yourself to them either. But you showed yourself to me a few weeks after that. A little girl at the top of the stairs. These very stairs, right here. A head poking round the corner and darted away into Diane's room. Seen it with my very eyes. Then Griff got growled at. We come again. We south. And it all kicked off. Do something now. Use all the energy of everyone that's watching at home right now. Throw something at me. I can hear, I don't know if that could have been from outside. possibility, but I heard kind of some banging, but I think that could have been outside. Come on, replicate what you just heard a second ago. I'm at the top of the stairs, in the dark, on my own. Kinda. Could you pull the wire that you see? This thing here. If you pull it, you'll launch the camera down the stairs. Don't worry about breaking it. Pardon me. So as you can see, it's quite quiet at the moment. We are going to be staying here all night. Could you appear in that door that's behind me? In one of the most haunted rooms in the country. Come and show yourself. Manifest. There's a shadow. The holy grail of the paranormal. I can hear a few little creaks coming from in there. But the heater has just kind of come on. It's a bit louder. Make that go even louder. Come on, keep it building. Louder for a spirit. I don't know if you guys can hear any of that. It's like very light tapping. I can't see anything, man. It's pitch black up here. It's so dark. You're just weak. I think that's just the reality of it.
You're just weak. Or are you waiting for us to go to bed yet again? Are you waiting for us to go to bed? And you can push on Griff's chest yet again. That's made him paranoid and scared since he first seen that clip. That he even had to go to his own doctors, the sleep clinic, show them all the footage. And none of them have an explanation for it. Is that what you're waiting for? Is this all a waste of time right now? You're going to attack us in our sleep again? You're going to make us feel like absolute crap, like having a hangover? Why can't you do something right now while we're awake so it actually means something? Instead of when we don't even know about it. Okay, yeah, sorry. It'll be the radiator. Jesus Christ. Yeah, obviously the boiler is pumping water into the radiator, so yeah, that's what that clicking was. Jeez. Thought it was about to kick off. I was about to go. So I think I've been doing this for longer than 30 minutes. I'll go just for another 10. Not a lot has happened. I'll go and sit in Diane's room. Oh dear me. Now this is where I would have seen where he looked like the child figure ran into. Or shadow figure, I don't know what you want to call it. Mainly the shadow figure, that was just the tripod. But he was right here, people. So I'm going to call out to the 2 little girls that are reported to haunt this place. Emma and Emily. If you're on the stairs, there's a camera facing you. If you can go towards that camera, please. Wave to the camera. I'm not anywhere near it. Just give it a wave. Blow into the microphone. You can even push it over. No one will tell you off. You won't get into trouble. Whisper your name into the microphone. If you don't know what a microphone is, whisper your name into the red light. My name is Stephen. What's yours? Could you whistle? Repeat after me. We'll try that again. Take this downstairs. Oh, God. Okay. So I'm in the living room. I've got one of the most comfiest chairs in the house. It's just me bringing a wire in. Nothing paranormal. Look, just to show you. Just a wire, people. Oh, he's had a bit of a knot. I'll sort that out in a sec. But yeah, I'm just going to sit in the living room. Griffey's literally just through that door, through there. Well, I hope he's monitoring the stream. For me, I haven't heard anything during this vigil. If you guys have heard anything, let us know down below in chat. Feels quite relaxed. Feels quite chilled. But as you know, on these paranormal investigations, even on the most haunted night of the year, you know, Halloween, where the spirits come alive and all that stuff, most powerfulest, just shows you know, this is the reality. But saying that, we can't dismiss those loud noises at the start of the night. They were incredible. Can't disregard them. Just in this last 30 minutes, nothing has happened. But the night is still young. We will be investigating. Well, saying that, we'll probably go to bed at a decent hour. Before everyone comes in, Spirit, before Mr. Barry Dodds, Mr. Bill Bungay, Mr. Justin Cowell, Lou, and her husband, I can't remember the husband's name. What is it, Griff? I've done well to remember all their names, to be fair. But before everyone comes into the room, back into the house, could you slam the door? Hell, I'll even take a knock. Just tap on the glass. Like something did last time I was here. Just tap on that glass. Be incredible. Just a simple, and you'd see everyone lose their mind. Can you not do that? Is that a bit too much energy for you? Okay. Let's go back into Griff. So, Jace, how's it been? Have you heard anything? Is he asleep? He's dead in the chair. I can't even get to him. I couldn't even get to him because I got hooked on the wall.
Did you like that? Like how still I was?
Yeah.
Everyone thought I was dead. Yeah, I didn't make a noise. Obviously, it was interesting. Quite just to listen back. I didn't hear any noises. I could hear talking. I presume it was them outside.
Yeah.
A little bit of that. The door's actually opening now. I'm just coming in.
Who's that? Hello.
Hiya.
How was it in the car? Nice and warm?
Lovely.
Nice and warm. Been watching you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kent Paranormal for remembering Eddie's name.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And for the marriage.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
You're married now.
Oh, you're not married?
Never knew that. Never knew that.
Thank you. Happy days.
You learn something new every time through these shows. But yeah, I think for me, not a great deal really happened.
No.
But as you know, guys, that's how it goes. But it was still a lot of fun either way. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to start wrapping up the stream. We're all going to go into the living room, and
should we take some questions?
Why not? Yeah, sure.
And also, me, Lou, and Eddie would like to have a look inside Diane's room because we haven't been in.
Well, do you want to go? Do you want to have a look at there right now?
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Now?
Might as well. Be careful of all the lights. Well, otherwise, I should say.
Otherwise, I've got a gift today.
You got a gift?
Apparently, I've got a gift.
What's your gift?
What is my gift, Julie? It's the gift of laughter.
You want to go, Phil?
Gift of love.
Okay.
Oh, is that incense?
I smelt that.
Well, can you smell something?
Yeah, incense. I honestly thought, you've been burning it because look, there's some powder there.
Is there?
Did you smell that?
Yeah, I did when we came in.
It's like I literally walked through it on the stairs. I was like, oh, they've been burning incense.
Well, we haven't done anything.
I smelt it as we came in.
Do you know what?
Yeah, because I thought that was the ash from it.
No, someone's took the wall off.
Just put the light on for.
Oh, what's that?
There you go. Right then. See, I thought we'd have done Diane's room, but no, we actually did. We did forget it, didn't we?
I'm just going to stand up here.
Are you feeling alright?
Do you feel anything in this room? To be fair, actually, do you feel anything coming back into the house?
I smelt the incense as we came in.
I feel quite normal.
Yeah, I've just felt because we had so much going on when you guys were upstairs.
Yeah.
Which we'll tell you about in a minute. But yeah, I don't really feel. Just feels normal, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah. I said we felt like when I was just doing mine, which is totally strange though, because when I was here only a few weeks ago and I was doing a alarm Vigil, it was totally different. You could feel like there was something inside the house, and something was building, and stuff did happen. And then obviously you come here right now, and it feels flat. But saying that, when we heard those noises earlier, it didn't really feel like anything then, but then it just happened, like really loud, spontaneous noises just out of nowhere. And we said he sounded like a kick drum, didn't he?
Yeah.
As someone pointed out, which was a very good comparison.
It's a hollow sound, isn't it? Sort of reverberating.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. We were watching the live stream and it did look like there was somebody in the bed.
He did?
Yeah.
He did. I walked in and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Just check. Oh, imagine if there was a. Yeah.
Just a shadow figure.
Yeah.
Just a black shadow.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got 30 minutes left. Do you want to do something in here while we get?
Shall we go downstairs?
Because that's where we were getting the stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we can
we'll
talk
about what happened when we were downstairs and you were upstairs.
All right then. Okay, Griff, do you want to hitch the beat right back? Okay, so we've all come back in. We're all in the living room right now. Griff's still manning the cameras. And yeah, we're just going to kind of chill, relax. It's the last 30 minutes. Again, thank you everyone for who's joined us on tonight's Halloween special. It's been a lot of fun having all the guests with us. Obviously, go check out Haunted TV for exclusive content that we filmed about the history and everything. And funnily enough, we actually work with Haunted Happenings, one of the best ghost hunting companies in the entire of the UK. Very trustworthy. We've worked with them loads and loads of times. And Hazel, the owner, actually messaged me. I've only just seen you messaged Hazel, but Bill is just going to tell us exactly what Hazel just said, which is very fascinating, which links into, well, the history of this house. So, if you want to, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Hazel does lots of ghost hunts in this house with haunted happenings. And on one occasion, there was lots of noise happening upstairs. And so they took the spirit box out and they had a message that didn't make any sense to Hazel at the time, which was Barbara's packing. Now that if you've been with us on the live, you won't have seen this, but on Haunted TV, our Halloween special has an interview with Bill Farry. You saw a little bit of that interview earlier. His wife was called Barbara. It may well be that comment was related to Barbara packing to leave this house. So it may well be that there was a little echo of something that happened all those years ago. So it's just an interesting little observation.
It comes through the spirit box.
Through the spirit box. Yeah.
She's very fascinating. Now we want to get to you, Lou. She's over there. So when Bill was upstairs doing his interview, what was happening down there? What noises did you hear?
So Barry was in the corner, and Eddie was on the chair here, and then we were just sort of sat here, and then me and Eddie started to get really, really cold around the legs. Then Barry, you started getting cold, didn't you? And then we were sort of whispering, because I could feel like the presence of a child or children, and it didn't seem a sinister presence, it seemed quite playful. So we were saying, can you make some noises just for us, not for them upstairs, but just for us. And then we got some tapping on the windows, and then we started to ask for more noises, and then there was quite a loud knock, and Barry...
Several knocks, to the point that I thought it was...
That's my stomach. I'm really hungry.
There was a knocking, and it was so loud. I thought it was trick-or-treaters at the door.
Yeah, so you just instantly...
So I just got up and went to the door. Eddie thought...
I thought it was right over in that corner.
You thought it came from...
Because when he got up, I was like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "No, it was in that corner." Barry went to the door. There was no one at the door.
Incredible.
And that's just before the big bangs
huge
upstairs.
Thumps.
There was like 7, weren't there? I've seen some people in the
really
comments.
big thumping noises.
Yeah. Just before that.
Because did you hear that as well, Justin? What do you make of those thumping noises?
They were really good. They were really good. I mean, obviously obviously you're up there and you're kind of talking. Part of you is kind of trying to listen to the chat, and then obviously what's great on the live stream though is that there's a whole load of people on the chat who just kind of like listening back and going, yeah, counted 7. I thought it was like 6.
Yeah.
So our recollection of it is sometimes a little bit different. Yeah. But from where I was, and Bill may have a different opinion, but it was like, obviously, it's a strange thing, because when you hear them, you're thinking, well, that's more than just the odd occasional knock. Yeah. When you've got 6 or 7 in a row like that, and it was like a deep bass. It was interesting. I mean, I couldn't pinpoint whereabouts it was coming from. That's the hard thing. You just can't figure out where it's coming from. Whether, I mean, Griff was saying, was it from beneath the stairs, or it could have been the parents' room? It's just this deep bass is quite a hard thing to kind of pinpoint. But yeah, really interesting. Really interesting.
Yeah. Me and Eddie also thought that Barry was talking, but he was on his phone.
We both looked up and just went, what? At the same time, and he went,
and because I was trying to watch the live feed to see what you were up to upstairs. Yeah. And then the next thing you're like, what are you saying? It's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm watching upstairs.
And then we were asking, can you do some tapping behind Barry? And then it just started going behind your head, didn't it?
Yeah, it was like here. It was like on the wall behind me.
Yeah.
We should have left the camera down here.
Who kept saying, "Can you do one more?" And it was kind of just playing.
It was doing it like on demand.
Yeah. So that was quite fun.
Should we try and do that? Do you want to try something like that now?
We can do. I think one of the things is, I've got a bit of a theory about this house, and it sort of echoes your experience, which is, I think when you look for things here and you the constant calling out and asking for things to happen, I get the feeling that
It's not interested.
They're not performing monkeys. They're not. They're not.
It's just when you come here though with a camera. I mean, I would love to just sit here. I mean, that would make our lives so much easier. Just sitting here with the camera. But when you're trying to do a stream or you're trying to create,
you're trying to create something. Yeah,
it's like it's so much harder just to sit there because no one wants to see us sitting
around. Yeah,
exactly.
But oddly enough, that's when things seem to start to happen. Or in my experience, like. I mean, who would just sit and watch people sitting around? Although, having said that, I'm sure that if there were cameras in here 24/7, somebody would like to just sit and watch them. And it always feels like it happens when you don't expect it, or when you're not looking, or when you ignore it.
100%.
When it's ignored, it doesn't like it.
And in reality, if you're investigating the paranormal, those that do it from societies like the SPR and things, literally just sit in a room with a notepad, with a voice recorder, sometimes cameras, but most often not. Maybe just a notepad and a voice recorder, just writing down everything that they hear.
It's quite interesting because the stuff started happening after we were asking Barry what he'd had for his dinner. So we were sort of like ignoring all of the stuff. So
it was. Yeah, that's what.
Then you were telling us he had a lovely burger with some bacon and cheese, and then we were sort of having a little chat about that, and then it started playing and we started getting cold and then the tapping started. So it was after you'd said, let's just ignore it and forget about it, and then it started it was like, oh, come on, I'm here.
Well, do you want to call out then and see if we can get that kind of tapping to happen again?
Yeah.
So whoever wants to start off.
I think you should, Luke.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, he was responding to you before, weren't he? So you might as well.
Okie dokes. Okay. Right, so to the spirits that were here before, you were very very responsive to our requests to do some tapping near Barry's head. Which we were very grateful for. So if you could let us know if you're still here by just maybe tapping on the glass door or banging on the walls, banging behind Barry like you did before, that would be great. Anything at all, if you just want to give us a little knock behind Barry. I'm sure Barry would be very grateful. We all would be.
Everyone's friendly here. Everybody just wants to know if you're here with us, that's all. So if you just give us a sign that you're here, we're at the end of our night and bid you good night.
Have you gone cold again?
Have you?
It's sort of
Just
cold.
me moving.
Just sort of cold around here.
We feel something around you?
Yeah, around here. But previously it was between the two of us. But it feels like it's between me and Bill now.
Do you want to call out or say anything, Jace? How do you feel?
I'm just laughing.
Laughing?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Because I read the comments and it's bad because you're sitting there and there's a picture of you and everyone's sitting just like the picture and I was dying because
that looks just like
from afar it looks just like your picture.
I look like the mid-60s Yorkshireman who's dead. Brilliant.
I'm laughing.
What a compliment. Thanks, Internet.
There's a special from Kiefer Hill.
Yeah, I've got it.
Fair play.
I mean, that would have been the thumbnail.
Back from I can't say any more than that, it's a lie. But yeah, we can call out some more. We've got the whole house. I'll stand in this little...
I can just see Steve now laughing because he can see it.
Yeah, it killed me. I was sitting in there and I'd had enough. I was literally, I can't deal with that. I've got to walk away.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, we apologise, Joe. No disrespect. Especially
well, a little bit.
Well, no disrespect intended. It's his fault that you look like him, is it? So, yeah, they were all in the living room, but there is the rest of the house. And we'll do a little bit of calling out, a little bit more. We've had some definite loud bangs, some really loud knocks. Do you want to get out? So we've had some really loud knocks from the centre of the house, I believe. And we'd like to hear those again.
What's that?
It's just Bill walking.
Yeah, that's rain dropping from...
No, like
It was like a device, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like a submarine radar.
Yeah, it was like a radar. Like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Did you hear it, Justin?
Yeah, I heard it. But I was trying to work out where it was coming from.
We've got no electronic gadgets, apart from our phones. We've got no gadgets really on. I think they're all upstairs anyway.
Yeah, my phone's on silent. I've only got a voice recorder upstairs. I don't make any noise. Unless the K2's going off upstairs.
I've got my K2, ours makes like it's more of a static noise. That was boom, boom.
So, Spirit, could you repeat the noises that we've heard tonight?
Did it happen again?
Yeah.
It might have been Bill's foot then when you...
No, it was a ting or a...
Stinging its way up the tube. It has to be louder, please. Louder for us. So we've had some really good noises tonight. Could you show these noises to the people at home, please?
Can we have the tapping that you did before behind Barry? Like, we had some gentle tapping behind the sofa. You made Barry sit absolutely silently and quietly in fear of moving in case it was him. If we could have the tapping again.
That'd be incredible. We've got 10 minutes.
Yeah, please.
To get a move on. Conjure the energy and let's capture it on camera. It's a shame that me, Justin, Bill and Griff all missed that. But I trust Barry and Lou.
Not you,
No, not Eddie.
They don't even know his name.
Don't trust him.
Not now that I'm married.
Don't even know his name and married him on one string.
Don't trust him. Oh, fucking incredible.
Come on, can we have the tapping again, please? You were really kind and helpful previously, so whenever we asked, you did it, and that was really great.
And playful.
And playful. So if you could do it again, that'd be brilliant.
Whoa.
That was my belly.
Oh,
I heard a noise,
I
I heard a noise in the kitchen.
I did, yeah. Could have been the fridge. If you can see some of the... Do you want to come in here before we talk about some of the artifacts?
Have a look in there.
So we've got a few artifacts on the fireplace. Those are original to the house. From the legendary Bill Farrer. The original owner, tenant, whatever, of 30 East Drive. He spoke about how some of those objects got thrown across the room. His wife Barbara was too afraid
she had to get out of this house and she swapped with the Pritchards. Well, they've come back into their original home. Could you make one of them move, please? Where the cross is underneath the mirror.
So fuck's a mirror.
A mirror.
Okay.
Let's go to the Black Country. The mirror.
The mirror.
We've got some pictures of Bill and Barbara. I believe one on their wedding day as well. I believe, well, on record, they're the only family to have conceived a baby inside this house. Now, we don't know what other ghost hunters get up to. But on record, a baby was conceived in this house. Do you miss the Pharaohs? Do you even remember the Pharaohs? It was in 1950, what year was it? 1960 or something they moved in.
Bill?
1954.
1954.
So it's 97 something that was me.
Do you remember them? Or is it the Pritchards that you crave and miss? We lost Joe many years ago. And I believe we recently lost Jean about a year ago. It's fairly recent. Do either of the spirits of Joe and Jean
Or
Barbara return back to their home of 30 East Drive? If either of you are with us right now, give us a sign.
It all feels very still and quiet, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How about you, Lou? Do you feel anything?
No, it feels kind of
Flat.
yeah.
Well, I think on that bombshell, people.
I was just about to say the exact same thing.
We're going to wrap it up. Let's go to the kitchen.
Yeah, let's say thank you to everyone.
Let's turn the lights on.
Turn the lights on. Shush it up. Let's say thank you to everyone that's joined us tonight.
Definitely.
So we've got Lou. I don't know who that guy is. Thank you guys for enjoying.
Thank you for having us.
It's been a pleasure.
And we've got the lightning rod and Lou.
Thank you for having us.
And Justin, as
We've
always.
got
Joe Pritchard.
Joe Pritchard.
We've got Joe Pritchard in comment. But now we've got stand-up comedian Barry Dodds.
And Justin,
that's what he's well known for.
Mr. Barry.
Well known for.
See,
if I was well known for it, you wouldn't have to say it.
No.
That's stand-up comedian.
Yeah. So we'll just forget about him. This is Justin Cole.
Oh, yeah.
So we appreciate you all joining us tonight. It's nice to see Justin Cole back.
Yeah, it is. It's nice to be here. Thank you very much for inviting us. It's been
So
great.
where can we find you? What are you doing nowadays?
Me?
Yeah, well, apart from being stabbed and spat at and beaten.
Yeah, just teaching really. No, I'm at the minute I'm working mainly with the UK Paranormal Society is what I'm doing a lot of, and plus I'm always on Twitter and stuff. People know that.
Twitter,
I'm mad. Yeah, but in teaching, that's what I'm spending my time doing. But
giving back to communities.
Yeah.
Sort yourselves out.
But yeah, we'll have to do something with you all again. It was amazing. And I think we're back to me and you, Griff. So, on to us. Not just a one. Oh, why is it zoomed in so much?
Yeah.
Is it not? Let's go to the kitchen. I think there's a better lighting in there. I don't know if Bill knows how to switch the stream off, but we'll soon figure it out. So, yeah, honestly, oh, Jesus Christ. Massive thank you to everyone for watching this stream. It's been a massive success. A lot of people watching. Biggest stream we've ever done. Obviously, go and check out Haunted TV as well, to see those clips in its entirety and more. And there's going to be more coming over the following months. Do you want to say anything, Bill?
Yeah, Bill, just coming out the toilet. just got him on there. You want to say?
I'll wash my hands.
So, you take over there.
So, yeah, we really appreciate, guys. We don't know how many donations we have. We don't know what's going on. Appreciate everyone that's donated. Appreciate everyone that's watched. And yeah, pretty much, it's just been fun, hasn't it? It's been a fun stream. Have you enjoyed it, Bill?
Yeah, it's been great. Really interesting. So, see you again. Come and visit us.
Sandy, is there any, you don't want to plug your Haunted TV? You just want to walk off?
Oh yes, you can come and see haunted.com. No E in haunted.
Or check out the Warriors podcast at the Warriors Pod.
Or check out Spit or Swallow podcast. What? Yes, it's about wine tasting.
It makes a lot of sense, as you guys can probably tell. We're going to have a lot of fun after this.